Chapter 496. Reiki molecules of the 5 elements surround Han Weiya and Colin. Green wood Reiki molecules rush to Han Weiya, brown earth, and blue water. Han Weiya has the Taoist root of wood, earth, and water. Colin is luckier. He gets the Taoist root of gold and earth, 2 Taoist roots. He is already talented in personal ability enhancement. Colin's good luck is despised by everyone. Ma Yiming scratches his head. It seems that his Taoist root of 4 elements is the worst. Fortunately, there are 3 bone marrow cleansing bolus. One is for Han Weiya, one is for Ma Yiming, and the other is kept by Lin Luoran. Bone marrow cleansing bolus can't change a cultivator's Taoist root. It can only make cultivators with the Taoist root of 4 elements catch up with those with the Taoist root of 3 elements. It is only useful in the early stage of personal ability enhancement. The success of the foundation building, including the distribution of the marrow cleansing pill, was a happy result. Ma Shuangshuang has the highest personal ability among the 4. She has the Taoist root of 2 elements. After 5 years, she has no shortage of elixirs and spirit stones. She has successfully laid foundation before returning to the earth. She has become a real female cultivator in the laying foundation period. Ma Yiming originally has the Taoist root of 4 elements. His personal ability enhancement talent is much slower than Han Weiya's. He is only in the middle period of training qi. As for Han Weiya, she has no Taoist root. She has learned alchemy in 5 years, but she can't even command the alchemy furnace. Now that she has laid foundation, she is ready to practice hard so that she can practice the alchemy passed down by Danling Taoist. Without Lin Luoran's order, no one dares to accept the 3 starships outside Dongting City. They are still in the open space outside Dongting City. It has been 7 days since the Miaoyin spell conference ended. The crowd on Mount June Island has dispersed. The Lu family, represented by Lu Qingdai, is waiting for Lin Luoran's order. Before Lin Luoran entered the Dragon Palace, she once talked about the Earth transformation plan. The ozone layer is not impossible to create. With the level of civilization of the Nami Alliance, this technology has long been solved. Otherwise, the Nami star wouldn't have been rebuilt after the war 1,000 years ago. All creatures on the Earth can't survive without sunlight. Sunlight is composed of visible light, ultraviolet light, and infrared light. Half of the sunlight entering the atmosphere can penetrate the atmosphere and illuminate the earth and the ocean. This is the photosynthesis of green plants, which provides oxygen power for human beings. However, the shortwave ultraviolet rays and ultraviolet rays are harmful to human beings and creatures. The ozone layer is a natural barrier to isolate shortwave ultraviolet rays. What was difficult was not the creation of the ozone layer, but its maintenance. After the formation of ozone, its specific gravity was greater than that of oxygen, so it would gradually descend to the bottom of the ozone layer. As the temperature rose during its descent, the instability of ozone would become obvious. Then, after being irradiated by long-wave ultraviolet rays, it would once again be reduced to oxygen. The ozone layer protected this dynamic balance between oxygen and ozone. In addition to protecting the animals and plants on the Earth from shortwave ultraviolet rays, Lin Luoran believes that the ubiquitous gray fog that completely repels Reiki has something to do with the ozone layer. The most important task was to stabilize the ozone layer and restore the vegetation on the surface. Without oxygen-producing plants, the artificial ozone layer will soon disappear. Lin feels that there is still a long way to go to make plants grow on the scorched land. However, she can provide a lot of species. Great changes have taken place in Lin's space. The cottage was still the same, and the spiritual fields were still the same. What had changed were the 2 mountains and the lake. Lin Luoran transplanted many trees to the mountains and they grew well. However, last time she went to the wild planet with Danling Taoist's legacy and prepared to transplant some species to the 2 mountains. A red-tailed monkey was moved in with a branch. Yes, she realized that the 2 mountains and the lake could now support living things after losing the benefit of accelerating ripening. Big black bears, small ants, birds with wings, fish, shrimps, and shellfish in the lake. Except for Lin Luoran, humans are still not allowed to enter. The two mountains and the lake outside the spiritual fields are evolving to a complete biological chain. With this as the price, she faintly feels that no matter how high her personal ability is in the future, the spiritual fields and the cottage will not change. In fact, she is not a greedy person. Such a large area of the spiritual fields is enough. Lin Luoran is looking forward to the growth of the space outside the spiritual fields. When the white fog dissipates little by little, will she finally get a small world? Wood Wolf despises her whimsical idea without a trace. Fire Phoenix laughs at her personal ability. She hasn't completely unlocked the space seal after about 1,000 years. Lin Luoran really wants to say to the two of them, "You bastards." Lin Luoran comes down from the mountain. She waves goodbye to a monkey that bumps into the transparent enchantment and leaves the space with many seeds she has prepared. Grains and vegetable seeds that can be used as food are part of it. She has also bred a batch of saplings in the spiritual fields, including various fruit trees, ornamental trees, and shrubs. They are all half-grown saplings of 3 years old. After seedling, they are all planted on the mountains. Lin Luoran is not sure if they can resist the harsh environment of the earth. She only hopes that the result will not be too bad. Out of the space, Lin Luoran meets Lu Qingdai and an old acquaintance on Mount June Island, the former mayor of Dongting, Pang Xianzhong. She thinks that Pang Xianzhong is here for the 3 starships. In fact, Pang Xianzhong is interested in the environmental transformation plan. To be more precise, the political decision-makers of the Earth Federation, who Lin Luoran has never contacted, are led by Pang Xianzhong. They are ready to cooperate with Lin Luoran. Mount June Island is sealed and the Lu family is forced to move to the Moonstar. Lin Luoran doesn't bother to investigate it. Although she doesn't like to be involved with politics, both sides have the same purpose. Lin Luoran is not opposed to cooperation. After many years, she looks at the same thing again from a certain level. Her mentality is different and she is also much calmer. "Mr. Pang, can you help me find a place to store the 3 starships?" Lin Luoran doesn't want to compete for interstellar hegemony. She just doesn't want others to bully this planet casually. She doesn't mind where to put multifunctional things like land and air like starships. Therefore, her attitude is very casual. To rebuild the scorched earth, in addition to improved plant seeds, early bunkers are indispensable. Since Mr. Pang said that the Earth Federation is willing to help, I will leave this matter to you. Pang Xianzhong is meticulous and he never fights a battle he is not sure of. He also answers the key points Lin Luoran asks clearly and logically. He doesn't mention that bunkers are sold according to the regulations of the Alpha Alliance. It is estimated that after the Dongting incident, the Alpha Alliance will be so angry that many items will be restricted to the Earth Federation. If it is someone else, these difficulties will become the capital of negotiation. However, Pang Xianzhong doesn't mention it in front of Lin Luoran. "Qingdai, do you have any idea about the cultivation center I asked you to rent? Those saplings and all kinds of seeds can't be piled up casually. Without special care, they can't be planted. The seeds are fine but the saplings must have died long ago." Chapter 497. It turns out that the so-called bunker is a special metal ring buried deep in the soil. Under the action of magnetic force, when the instrument officially runs, it will form a semi-solid air shield. This is the case in several surviving federal gathering places on the Earth. However, in places with chaotic atmospheres such as Moonstar, more advanced bunkers are needed. The construction of these bunkers also needs energy support. Inspired by the magical weapons many years ago, the Earth Federation uses the inner boluses of mutant monsters. The bunker was soon in place. There were many volunteers who did not need to be paid for the reconstruction project. Some teams of agriculturalists were stationed there. Some white-haired old men were crying as they held many species that had died out in the war. More people stared at the small saplings as if they could see the bright future of green trees. In fact, in the past 300 years, the Earth Federation of the New Era has done a lot of research on how to restore the Earth's land. One of the most effective ways is to bury the expensive inner boluses of mutant monsters under the soil. If the plant seedlings are strong enough, they can survive the initial suffering period. Although the fruits may be inedible, the harmful substances in the mutated land can be improved after a few generations of planting. Although the effect is the most obvious, the cost is high enough to make the Earth Federation flinch. After all, Reiki is the gray mist invisible to the naked eye. It kills the organic matter in the soil. Reiki is the most effective thing to deal with the gray mist. Many years ago, when Baojia was seriously injured and lying on the operating table, Lin Luoran understood this. However, Lin Luoran does not intend to follow the proposal of the agricultural scholars in the experimental field this time. There are so many inner boluses of mutant monsters. Even if she is asked to kill them, her hands will be numb. She has something better. Liao hinted that her mother lode of the 5 elements can come in handy. Lin Luoran remembers that she has never talked about the mother lode of the 5 elements in front of Liao. Liao talks mysteriously all day long as if he knows her situation very well. Now he and Cyan Little Fox have gone to the former Weifang in Shandong. Liao has not given up on the Green Mountains country yet. Lin Luoran doesn't know when they can come back. After the volunteers clean up the mutant monsters, they successfully install bunkers and build defenses. Lin Luoran chooses a night to put the mother lode of the 5 elements into the ground and drives away the gray mist in the experimental field. When the soil quality is improved and plants can survive, she can take back the mother lode and start to transform the second area. What made her a little worried was that the gray fog that was chased away only ran to somewhere else and did not disappear. It seemed that Reiki could only fight against the gray fog, but not destroy it. If this continued, the gray fog on Earth would gather together. If she couldn't find a solution by then, the situation might be worse than today. Sure enough, everything had its risks. Lin Luoran disguises herself as an ordinary rebuilder and plants a locust tree on a hill outside Dongting City. The quality of the groundwater has changed a long time ago. Water from Dongting Lake has to be used for irrigation. An artificial lake has been built in the low-lying area. Some small fish and shrimps are attracted here and stranded in the place where the lake water has been. The volunteers don't eat them as Lin Luoran expected. Instead, they take the initiative to set the fish and shrimps free. They are better than she thought. Volunteers work for free. Most of their food is provided by the federal government. Occasionally, some wealthy big businesses will give volunteers extra meals. For example, today, the Han family, an interstellar merchant family in the 8th district of Moonstar, provides 1,000 pounds of white flour. The chopping board and the big pot are placed in the wilderness. Volunteers who are good at cooking take the initiative to cook. They knead the dough and make a fire. More than 100 people steamed buns and made dumplings together. There are too many monks but not enough porridge. Some people get extra meals and some don't even feel that there is no soup left in the pot. Those who don't get to eat are not angry. Anyway, they are just having fun. In a call, Han Kueisheng watches Han Weiya carefully planting some pine trees. He feels a little distressed. Weiya, do cultivators also have to farm? Han Weiya nods. After asking Aunt Lin's opinion, the federal citizens can apply for an experimental field in the reconstruction area. Half of the field can be planted with greening plants and the other half can be planted with cash crops. As long as the field is planted for more than 10 years, it will be registered under the name of the citizen. Dad, although this land is remote, it is not easy for me to apply for it. Han Kueisheng just knows that the Aunt Lin mentioned by his daughter is Mortal Heart Fairy. Han Kueisheng sweats profusely when he hears Han Weiya's way of calling Mortal Heart Fairy the same as him. Seeing that Han Kueisheng is absent-minded, Han Weiya hands him a glass of water. Dad, this policy is very promising. There is nothing wrong with farming. Most of the work is done by agricultural robots. However, if we have a private land, I think you can mobilize some people. Our Han family can't leave our hometown for a lifetime. It's boring to stay in the Moonstar. Han Weiya counts her fingers and tells Han Kuei-sheng all the benefits. Han Weiya is very happy that his daughter has grown up a lot. He regards her as an adult and regards her proposal as an equal conversation between adults. He thinks it is quite desirable. It's a pity that the first application for the experimental field in the reconstruction area has already been issued. Because the news is so sudden, many forces of the Earth Federation are caught off guard. The Han family doesn't get a place and others are not much better. However, such opportunities for private land will only become fewer and fewer in the future. Han Kuei-sheng also feels a little regretful. Even if he can apply for it, it doesn't make much sense to go to a place far away from Dongting City. Everyone knows that the Mount June Taoist field is going to stay in Dongting City. Han Kuei-sheng grabs the shovel in his daughter's hand and digs a hole on the hillside. Han Weiya smiles sweetly and plants the small pine tree in the hole dug by her father. She is busy until the evening. Pine trees are planted on this scorched land. Han Weiya's dream is to have a pine forest of her own. Watering and fertilizing, Han Weiya's nose is full of sweat. The saplings, seeds and fertilizers received for the first time are all free. The Han family is not short of money, but Han Weiya still hopes to plant successfully for the first time. The siblings of the Ma family and Colin all have their own experimental fields. She doesn't want to lose to her friends. It gets dark and the Ma family's villa becomes lively again. Compared with the cold Dragon Palace, the Ma family's villa is much warmer. Anyway, no one can imagine that Mortal Heart Fairy lives next to Dongting people. People of Ma Yiming's generation have never farmed by themselves since they were born. The scorched land is hard. Although they have the help of robots, they still work harder than farmers before the new era. If they don't have a strong body, they really can't bear this hardship. The four young people wash off their sweat and exchange some farming experience. Lin Luoran has already asked them to eat with a smile. The calabash fruit in front of the yard is a little sour when eaten raw. It tastes crisp and sour with some garlic sauce, just like eating pickled cucumber strips. Fried water spinach, braised pork with dried vegetables, and steamed eggplant with green peppers are all home-cooked dishes. Without the picky and poisonous cyan little fox, Lin Luoran's casual cooking is very popular. Even Han Weiya and Ma Shuangshuang eat 2 bowls of rice. After eating, the four take the initiative to clean up the dishes and are about to go back to the room to cultivate. Lin Luoran stops them. I will go to the center of Chuan province in 2 days. I don't know when I will return. Dongting City's affairs are all yours. Contact me if there is an emergency. Colin nods. Shall I go with you? Lin Luoran refuses. After the Miaoyin spell conference, Baojia leaves quietly. Except for the center of Chuan province, Lin Luoran can't guess where she will go. Chapter 498. The air is filled with the smell of scorched earth that makes people panic. Oxygen is thin, pollution and radiation are serious. When humans walk outside the Earth's settlements, they need to take anti-radiation treatment, wear gas masks and carry compressed oxygen equipment. In short, it is not easy to make money by hunting mutant monsters. Only cultivators like Lin Luoran can expose themselves to radiation and polluted air and walk freely on today's Earth. Rong City in the center of Chuan province contains the memory of the first half of Lin Luoran's life. From birth to cultivation, this city generally brings her happiness. It is not until she returns from Mount Penglai that everything changes dramatically. Including her impression of Rong City. While feeling sad, she also wants to escape. If Baojia doesn't come back here, she has no plan to come back in a short time. She finds the place where Qingqing Taoist Temple used to be and finds that it has been cleaned up. A small illusion circle covers the hole under Qingqing Taoist Temple. Lin Luoran doesn't know whether it is because of lack of spirit stones or because she has a broad vision now. She can easily find the magic circle eye of the illusion circle. This illusion circle can only prevent mutant monsters from running around. White Fairy floats out like smoke. She takes a look and points out the way for Lin Luoran. Baojia is not here. There is another living person in the cave. Lin Luoran follows White Fairy's instructions. She doesn't destroy the illusion circle and walks in slowly. The stones at the entrance are cleared and the green cave entrance is revealed. She goes down the steps and remembers that she found Commander Qin with a nervous face that year. Lu Zheng and the crazy Taoist were also there. The four of them personally put Baojia in the hollowed-out tree hole of the soul wood and she slept for many years. The upheaval of the earth has obviously affected Baojia. At this time, she is more like a new independent personality after waking up rather than forgetting the past. Even though Lin Luoran is a gathering vitality cultivator, she doesn't know how to face Baojia, who has a completely different personality. There is no light in the cave. Several glowing crystals are inlaid on the mountain wall. The light is soft and refreshing. Walking to the bottom, Lin Luoran sees a young man with timid eyes and a guarded face. Lin Luoran has mixed feelings. It is Duke Chao. To be precise, he is the former Duke Chao. The bottom of the cave was cleaned and covered with a mattress made of mutant wolf skin. Hidalgo Frank, former Duke of Chio. He is not stupid anymore. His eyes are innocent. Lin Luoran feels strange. White Fairy looks at him and says, he is as smart as a toddler now. Lin Luoran frowns. When she made the decision, she didn't expect that Baojia would value Frank so much that she even took him away from the Nami star. White Fairy asks for her opinion before she does it. Soul-searching spell, an illusion spell that White Fairy is good at. As an ordinary person, Frank is just a fool. It is already a very light sequela. This is the reason why White Fairy stopped her from using the soul-searching spell on the bank of Dongting Lake. After all, they are two innocent ordinary people. They are not enemies. Lin Luoran has mixed feelings. Although she doesn't feel guilty, what should she say when she finds Baojia? What happened to Frank has happened. If Baojia makes one of the siblings of the Ma family like this, she can't pretend that nothing has happened. She is about to leave quietly when the illusion circle is triggered. Baojia is back. Baojia is holding a skinned mutant rabbit in her hand. Standing on the high steps, she looks down at her coldly. What are you doing here? Baojia's attitude towards Lin Luoran is not friendly. However, she treats White Fairy coldly with disgust. Lin Luoran nods at White Fairy. She returns to the space wisely. I come to thank you for your help in Dongting that day. Baojia's face softens a little. Even if I didn't go, you wouldn't have lost. Don't get me wrong. I just hate people who show off. Lin Luoran doesn't know whether to laugh or cry. The reborn Baojia is very mean. Easing the relationship can't be rushed. Lin Luoran's purpose today is achieved after confirming that Baojia is really in Mount Qingcheng. She bows her hands and says goodbye. When she passes by Baojia on the steps, she clearly feels that Frank's tense body is relaxed. The former Duke Chao, whose IQ has degenerated to a few years old, pulls Baojia's sleeve and whispers something. Baojia is very patient to comfort him. There is a deep affection between them. Lin Luoran gets out of the illusion circle. When she is about to leave, the water ripples in the circle and Baojia chases after her. Wait a minute. Lin Luoran is stunned and uneasy. She is not sure whether Baojia is going to ask her not to come again. Baojia hesitates. After a long time, she takes out 2 jade maps. This one has been with me since I woke up. It records an unknown spell and magic circle knowledge. Baojia raises the other jade map. This one was found at the bottom of the cave after I returned to the earth. It records sword riding skills, spells of the 5 elements, even talisman skills, common spirit herbs and elixirs, and various common knowledge of the world of cultivation. The person who left the jade map said that I can only find the second one when I return to the earth again. It is the crazy Taoist. Lin Luoran can be sure without taking over the jade map. Only 4 people were present to send Baojia into the soul wood that year. Only the crazy Taoist can do such a seemingly absurd but wise thing, right? One jade map is with Baojia so that she will not be unarmed when she wakes up. The other jade map is found after she returns to the earth. The crazy Taoist must have arranged this for a reason. Lin Luoran is silent for a while. There seems to be only one explanation. The crazy Taoist knows that something will happen to the earth. On the day Baojia wakes up, neither he nor Lin Luoran will be with Baojia. The second jade map appears because Baojia returns to the earth. The truth is clear, Baojia returns to the earth because she wants to recover her memories. Do you mind walking around the city with me? Lin Luoran doesn't expose Baojia's mind. She invites her with a smile. Baojia hesitates for a while and nods. Lin Luoran takes Baojia down the mountain slowly. In fact, 300 years after the drastic changes on the earth, she is satisfied to have the opportunity to walk side by side with her old friend. Qingqing Villa has become a ruin. A nest of mutant cockroaches has occupied the former number 18 villa of Qingqing Villa. Lin Luoran doesn't deliberately talk about Baojia's former identity. She just talks about some interesting things that happened in Qingqing Villa. Baojia helped to take care of Mr. and Mrs. Lin for 3 years. They go all the way to the city. Of course, the folk street is not as beautiful as it used to be. The vermilion gate of Lin's house is rotten. Lin Luoran points to the village and says, "This is another yard of Lin's family. You encouraged me to buy it." There are only withered bamboo roots buried under the rubble on the island. The amazing Ming and Qing dynasty mansion has changed beyond recognition. When they came here for the first time, Master Jia made yungwu fragrant dumplings, with shrimps for them to eat. There was also the roasted ham with bamboo shoots produced on the island. Thinking about it, it feels like it happened in her previous life. It sounds like you had a good life in the past. Baojia speaks for the first time. She can't tell whether she is happy or angry. Lin Luoran shakes her head. Lin's family started self-cultivation. We moved from the countryside to the city. Your grandfather was the commander of the military division. You grew up in the capital. I have always cherished being friends with you. Baojia is surprised. Did she have a grandfather in the past? Baojia is about to ask in detail when she suddenly notices a huge wave of wood reiki erupting not far away. Lin Luoran also looks in the same direction. The green light has not dissipated yet. The wave of wood reiki not only alarmed the 2 cultivators but also a large number of mutant beasts living in the city. Even though the city has collapsed, Lin Luoran's extraordinary memory and eyesight still remind her of the place where the green light has not dissipated. It is the courtyard where Yang Lisha sold flowers. Lin Luoran and Baojia stand side by side in a pile of broken bricks. The green light shrouds the place. Something seems to be coming up to the ground. However, it doesn't succeed because of the debris piled up like a mountain on the ground. Do you know this place? Lin Luoran nods and keeps staring at the movement on the ground. Mutant beasts are roaring not far away. However, they are afraid of Lin Luoran and Baojia's powerful momentum and dare not go forward. The green light is very peaceful without any violence. The environment on the earth can't breed any natural treasures. Besides, this is the place where Yang Lisha opened her flower shop. Is the female monster coming out? Lin Luoran has an idea. She sweeps away the stones and bricks piled up on the original site. After a while, the green light finally breaks through the imprisonment of the scorched earth and emerges from the ground. A big crack appears on the ground. A luxuriant acacia tree emerges from the ground and slowly stretches its branches and leaves. Mutant beasts are restless. The spirit tree with abundant wood reiki is more tempting to them than ginseng fruit. Some mutant beasts are ready to challenge Lin Luoran's coercion. Lin Luoran ignores the mutant beasts. Her eyes fall on the green vines entwining the trunk of the acacia tree. Shisandra. Why does Yang Lisha return to her original body? The acacia tree shakes its leaves and a thick green mist spreads. When the green mist disperses, there is only a young man in a yellow robe left on the ground. He has a beautiful androgynous face. Lin Luoran's old acquaintance, the female monster Yang Lisha, whose original body is Shisandra, loses the thing that clings to her. She falls on the ground and is still a green vine. The young man stands quietly for a while. It seems that he remembers the past. The confusion in his eyes disappears. He looks down at the green vine and tears fall. Chapter 499. The young man in yellow has a very androgynous face. However, Lin Luoran can recognize that she is a woman as soon as she speaks, even though her voice is also a little low, a female monster whose original body is the acacia tree. The acacia tree whose original body was on the verge of collapse was actually saved by Yang Lisha. In addition to the soul wood, Yang Lisha's personal ability was also sacrificed. Looking at Yang Lisha who has returned to the original body of Shisandra, Lin Luoran can't judge whether it is worth it. Even though she is rational, Lin Luoran is not sure whether she will do such an extremely stupid thing for the sake of the people she cares about. Are you Voidy? Lin Luoran vaguely remembers that Yang Lisha did call her Voidy when she shouted at her angrily and forced her to fulfill the agreement. Lin Luoran thinks that the person Yang Lisha can't let go must be a male monster. Just like when she was young, the most touching thing in the world was love. Unexpectedly, the Voidy Yang Lisha talks about is a female monster who is more dazzling than ordinary men in the world. She wears a light yellow dress and her hair is simply standing up. She is different from the androgynous dress Lin Luoran wore at the Miaoyin spell conference in Dongting that night. The temperament of Voidy makes it hard to tell whether she is a man or a woman. She seems to break the shackles of time and suddenly step into the new era of the earth from the Wei and Jin dynasties. That's right. Lin Luoran finally finds an adjective. The female monster called Voidy, which is transformed by the acacia tree. She doesn't have the sentimental temperament of the acacia tree at all. Instead, she exudes a kind of uninhibited celebrity from the inside out. Voidy just glances at Lin Luoran without saying a word. She turns around and leaves with Yang Lisha's original body, Shisandra. Baojia frowns. Although she has mixed feelings when facing Lin Luoran, being ignored like this is like a slap in the face. Lin Luoran stops her and shakes her head. The acacia tree monster is also a sad person at the moment. They should be considerate. Even if there is a conflict, Lin Luoran will not let Baojia fight unless it is necessary. Just like she couldn't see through Yang Lisha in the past, she still can't see through Voidy now that she has gathering vitality. Rome City is no longer the leisurely city it used to be. Besides, it is disturbed by the transformation of the acacia tree. The conversation between Lin Luoran and Baojia is interrupted. Both of them know that they have lost this opportunity and they don't want to talk about it in depth. The atmosphere is a little awkward. Lin Luoran feels that she can't speak properly. The two are in a stalemate. In the gray mist of the old Rome City, a white paper crane slowly flies over. Lin Luoran reaches out to catch it. The white wings of the paper crane are stained with gray mist. It is not as light as before. Lin Luoran unfolds the paper crane and glances at the few words written on it. She frowns unconsciously. Baojia is very close to it and accidentally sees the content of the paper crane. She is relieved. Since you are going to the Green Mountains, let's say goodbye here. Lin Luoran nods subconsciously. A gust of wind suddenly blows beside him, making him close his eyes unconsciously. When he opens his eyes again, the acacia tree monster in a yellow robe stands quietly in front of him. It asks in a hoarse voice, "Are you going to the Green Mountains country?" It looks Lin Luoran up and down. With the current environment of the Earth star, a female cultivator who can cultivate to the gathering vitality period may be really something. However, the Green Mountains country was lost in the long river of time before she could transform. How can this female cultivator talk about it? Lin Luoran responds to Voidy with a faint supercilious look. She wants to go to the Green Mountains country. It has nothing to do with this tree monster. The female monster doesn't bother to talk to her. Lin Luoran doesn't have to be so thick-skinned to stick to it. After all, it was young Lisha who had some friendship with her in the past, not this Voidy. Baojia feels that an eye for an eye. She smiles and feels that her previous grievances are swept away. She becomes very happy. However, Voidy doesn't care too much. She really doesn't care about trifles like a famous scholar in the Wei and Jin dynasty. She reintroduces herself to Lin Luoran. My name is Unscented. Unscented. The acacia tree actually has fragrance when it blooms. It just needs to be calm to smell it. Lin Luoran looks at the 5-flavor vine wrapped around Unscented's wrist. She remembers her friendship with young Lisha when they went to the Tower of Babel and traveled through ancient Babylon. Her previous unhappiness disappears and she nods. Lin Luoran. Unscented suddenly realizes, it's you. Before she transforms again, she has been sober with the energy of the soul wood and the silly girl. The girl mentioned the name, Lin Luoran, in front of her, but it was not a good thing. Young Lisha was just worried that Unscented's realm would be unstable after the transformation. Young Lisha told Unscented that Lin Luoran could take out 2 soul wood and she might have a 3rd. Monsters don't have the hypocrisy and shame of the human race. Unscented doesn't think what young Lisha did is wrong. However, if she wants to go to the Green Mountains now, she has to rely on Lin Luoran. Unscented can only give up young Lisha's plan. Monsters have no moral shackles, but it doesn't mean that they are a group of heartless beasts who bite the hand that feeds them. I wonder if fellow cultivator Lin can do me a little favor. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and nods. Baojia is a little angry. She thinks Lin Luoran is too soft. She gives up her previous prejudice when others show a little kindness. Baojia, who now changes her name to Nola Mancia, doesn't realize that if it weren't for Lin Luoran's good temper, how could they talk easily after what happened in Nami Star? Lin Luoran doesn't understand Baojia's thoughts. The tree monster Unscented's personal ability is unfathomable. Lin Luoran is not sure that she can win. There is no deep hatred between them. In fact, they even have some history. It is not shameful for both of them to take a step back. With such an idea, Lin Luoran can nod calmly. We are all cultivators. You don't have to be so polite. Weifang, Shandong. Mancia Nolan Mancia goes all the way from Rong City to Dongting. She hires professionals to take care of Frank and then hurries to Weifang, Shandong with Lin Luoran. Looking at the man and the monster talking and laughing side by side, Nola Mancia convinces herself that she just doesn't like the arrogance of the tree monster. It is definitely not because she is protective. Even though she has completely forgotten Lin Luoran, her old friend, Lin Luoran is a good person. She selfishly doesn't want Lin Luoran to be deceived by the monster. Besides, the tree monster looks neither male nor female. Nola Mancia is silent all the way. She doesn't hide her unhappiness. Fellow cultivator Lin, is this the place? Unscented closes her eyes. The scorched earth is glowing with rich Reiki. Mutant monsters have completely occupied the scorched slope where Reiki is leaking. Seeing Lin Luoran and others, they stare at them covetously, treating them as powerful unknown creatures who come to snatch their territory. Lin Luoran has sharp eyes. At the feet of a mutant elephant, she finds a touch of stimulating green on the scorched earth. It is an ordinary dandelion seedling before the new era, but now it is really growing on the scorched earth of the new era earth. The Reiki leakage is so serious. There must be a big turbulence in the Green Mountains. Lin Luoran doesn't know how Liao and Cyan Little Fox are doing. Lin Luoran is worried. In addition to the time wasted by the paper crane on the way, the situation of the Green Mountains may be worse. What makes her anxious is that even if she gets the way to enter, she still has to wait until night. I hope there will be a moon tonight. The power of moonlight will be at its peak when the weather is sunny at night. Lin Luoran is not a survivor of the Green Mountains. If she hadn't been with Cyan Little Fox for many years, she wouldn't have been able to enter even if she tried her best. 2 people and a monster are all cultivators. Half a day is not enough to affect their state of mind and make them impatient. The night soon falls, and the Reiki light spots flying around become clearer. Lin Luoran looks at the sky. She has to use the same trick again. Just like the night of the Miaoyin spell conference, she draws the moonlight down through layers of dirty air. She also borrows the 10,000-year hollow azurite from White Fairy. This is also the Green Mountain stone, produced in the Green Mountains. It is stained with the breath of the Green Mountains and will not dissipate for thousands of years. Lin Luoran can't smell it, but the Green Mountains world can sense it. The moonlight shines on the 10,000-year hollow azurite and twines the bluestone. In a stream of light, the mutant beasts occupying this place are disturbed. Seeing those mutant beasts rushing over, Baojia just raises her eyebrows. Unscented whispers to those mutant beasts, "Freeze," and they are all frozen in place. The previous shrieks of the wind and cranes disappear completely. It is so quiet that no crickets can be heard within a radius of 10 miles. There is no fluctuation of Reiki. Baojia feels cold on her back. She finally understands why Lin Luoran doesn't let her be impulsive. Lin Luoran glimpses the movement of the tree monster out of the corner of her eye, and her eyebrows also twitch slightly. She has studied the freeze spell for a long time. It is certainly possible to freeze the weak existence of mutant beasts, but to freeze such a large area? Lin Luoran shakes her head secretly. She needs another 10 years of practice. The 10,000-year hollow azurite leaps into the air, turns in the air like a compass, and pounces on the dandelion sprout which is trampled by the mutant elephant. The wind suddenly rises, and the space is distorted. Half of the 10,000-year hollow azurite has disappeared in the invisible wall of light refraction. Seeing that it is about to disappear, Lin Luoran firmly holds the remaining section and backhandedly grabs Baojia's arm. Go! Chapter 500. The light is refracted and twisted, passing through the colorful tunnel. The tearing force of space makes Lin Luoran let go of Baojia's arm unconsciously. A light flashes in front of her, and then she steps on nothing. With a plop, she falls into a wet and cold place. The tearing force makes her dizzy. As soon as her toes are wet in the pool water, she has jumped up gently. However, her shoes and socks are just wet. She stops above a steamy and quiet lake. The shallow water is slightly rippling, and there are small fish swimming under the waves. Time is quiet, and there are kingfishers singing from the distant lake shore. It is the beauty of the natural mountains without artificial carving. Is this the Green Mountains country? The abundance of Reiki here can be compared with the Bermuda Secret Land. Including the Penglai Fairyland, she knows 3 excellent places for cultivation. Cultivators on the earth are not without a way out. It's just that ordinary cultivators can't find the entrance to the blessed land easily because they don't have good luck. Lin Luoran is still holding the 10,000-year hollow azurite in her left hand. However, she doesn't see Baojia and Unscented after looking around. She doesn't know where they are. She smiles helplessly and returns the 10,000-year hollow azurite to White Fairy. She takes out a piece of white paper from space. Lin Luoran's fingertips turn flexibly, and the white paper has become a small paper crane. She murmurs and makes a strange gesture with both hands. Seeing that the paper crane is about to fly again, she bites her middle finger and squeezes a drop of essence blood into the paper crane. When the blood light fades, she shows the appearance of Cyan Little Fox and Liao in the void again. She pinches them into fog beads and also submerges them into the paper crane. It is easy to ask a paper crane to deliver a letter. However, it needs to be nourished by the spiritual mind of the person who folded the paper crane. Only when the paper crane is released by others can it find the owner accurately. If she wants to find people by paper cranes in the vast world, the only way is to use the person's hair and skin as a medium, or the essence blood of the caster. The higher the personal ability of the caster, the more accurate the range of the paper crane will be. Lin Luoran is not completely sure, but she hopes this method works. When the paper crane spreads its wings and flies up under a mysterious force, Lin Luoran also follows it with the wind. Reiki is abundant here. The paper crane is carrying a heavy responsibility, so it doesn't fly fast. Lin Luoran leaves the lake unhurriedly and follows it. She has a panoramic view of this place. The higher he flew, the clouds floated by his side, and the mountains passed under his feet. Layers upon layers of green mist, any mountain forest had an indescribable charm, luring people who had been rolling around in the world to build a hut and live there. The Green Mountains world is really a paradise. No wonder Liao can't forget it. Lin Luoran lowers her head. When she reunites with her family one day, she will either find a barbarian star with abundant Reiki or find a secret place comparable to the Green Mountains world. From then on, she will farm and cultivate. When she is free, she will travel all over the world and travel among the stars. After solving the problem in the Green Mountains, Lin Luoran makes up her mind to gather the Taoist root of the 5 elements as soon as possible. The paper crane flies very slowly. Lin Luoran checks along the way. The Green Mountains world is rich in species. There are exotic flowers and grasses, snakes and insects everywhere. In addition to ordinary beasts, there are also many rare beasts. However, she doesn't find any monster with personal ability. She feels strange. Even if they can't develop sapience, there should be a lot of beasts accepting spirits into their bodies after staying in a place like the Green Mountains for a long time. Lin Luoran makes a note of this unreasonable place and strengthens her vigilance. The paper crane has been flying for 2 days and it has no strength to continue. Its wings stop and it is about to fall. Lin Luoran catches it. The land of a world is naturally vast. Lin Luoran doesn't expect to find the end in 2 days. However, when she drops her essence blood again, the paper crane, which was originally safe, suddenly burns without fire and turns into ashes in front of Lin Luoran. It's kind of interesting. In the space, Fire Phoenix used to have the highest personal ability and the closest connection with space. Since Lin Luoran entered the Green Mountains world, Fire Phoenix has been paying attention to the situation outside. The Green Mountains are totally different from its previous impression. When the paper crane burns without fire, Fire Phoenix finally can't help but marvel. Lin Luoran has an idea. Fire Phoenix, have you been to the Green Mountains world before? Fire Phoenix laughs. When I came, the Green Mountains and the earth today belonged to the wilderness. There was no distinction between worlds. Those damn foxes were clever and cunning. They separated the Green Mountains from the wilderness with external forces. You see, the earth is coming to an end, but the Green Mountains are still full of Reiki and have been preserved. Fire Phoenix's words give Lin Luoran an idea. Why did the 9-tailed fox family make the Green Mountains a world of its own and separate it from the wilderness? The earth's Reiki declined and entered the age of chaos, but the Green Mountains were preserved. Did the 9-tailed fox family know that the earth would have such a day? Fire Phoenix is shocked. How is it possible? This news can't be leaked at all. It blurts out and then closes its mouth. Lin Luoran still catches the faulty wording. She flashes into space and pulls Fire Phoenix out. What news? What do you know? Fire Phoenix's words are evasive. I have been sleeping for a long time. I don't know anything. Lin Luoran narrows her eyes and strangles its neck. Fire Phoenix screams, I really don't know. Let go of me. Damn it. Since Lin Luoran cultivated the primordial spirit after gathering vitality, she also has a way to deal with souls of departed like them. Fire Phoenix is so strangled that it almost rolls its eyes. It has to say vaguely, at that time, spells were flourishing, and the monster race was full of powerful people. The human race was also proud of training chi. It was a great era for personal ability enhancement. I don't know where the rumor came from. It said that the earth would have a tribulation of 10,000 years. From powerful cultivators to ordinary plants, they were all the targets of tribulation. Lin Luoran lets go of Fire Phoenix's neck and sits on the swing. She murmurs, now it seems that it is not a rumor at all. In the tribulation of 10,000 years, countless species on the earth were extinct, cultivators disappeared, and plants turned into ashes. Aren't they the targets of tribulation? There is also the broken immortal world. No, it clearly includes the gods and Buddhas in heaven. This tribulation is really horrible. In addition to Liao's description, the spiritual world left by the gods and Buddhas disappeared, and some clues that couldn't be figured out before are finally revealed. If there is a tribulation, according to the time of the collapse of the immortal world, the gods and Buddhas in heaven will be the first to face the tribulation. Seeing Fire Phoenix looking at her in the distance, Lin Luoran waves at it maliciously, you just said it was a little interesting. What's interesting about it? Fire Phoenix sneers, I am laughing at those cunning foxes. Even if they separate the Green Mountains, they still can't escape this tribulation. Yes, Lin Luoran thinks about it carefully and feels that what Fire Phoenix said is somewhat true. Cyan Little Fox is the biggest evidence. The color of the fox is cyan. It is the king of the nine-tailed fox family and its status is the most honorable. If the Green Hill Fox family can really avoid the disaster as they wish, the Cyan Little Fox will not only have a 1-year-old fox by its side, living a miserable life. Looking at the Green Mountains world, Reiki is abundant, but no beast can open its mind and accept spirits into its body. It can be seen that the Fox family's plan has failed after all. Is the paper crane's failure to find people also because of the special environment of the Green Mountains? Fire Phoenix shakes its head, there is a turbid atmosphere in the Green Mountains. Someone is secretly making trouble for you, preventing you from finding the little fox and the old man. Lin Luoran nods. Fire Phoenix is right. It is really a little interesting. No matter what, the tribulation of 10,000 years is suspected to be the cause of everything, or there are still troublemakers in such an environment of the Green Mountains, Lin Luoran feels that this trip is worthwhile. Fairy, are you interested in visiting the Green Mountains with me? White Fairy floats over and smiles sweetly, with pleasure. A person and a soul leave the space. The silver fish wags its tail and stares at Fire Phoenix for a long time. You said it on purpose, right? Chapter 501. In the space, Fire Phoenix and Silver Fish are talking. Lin Luoran has no idea that she is rushing along the northeast direction at this moment. The paper crane is secretly destroyed by someone. Lin Luoran has to follow the northeast direction where the paper crane previously flew. White Fairy travels with her. With the help of 10,000-year hollow azurite, White Fairy's soul body is solid. She is no longer afraid of the erosion of turbid chi in the real world, let alone a place like the Green Mountains world with abundant Reiki. All the way to the east, Lin Luoran doesn't forget to throw special plants into the space when she sees them. Further north, spring quietly retreats, and it is already a snowfield of ice and snow. From the warm spring to the icy snowfield, there is no transition at all. The ice and snow spread to the southwest at a speed visible to the naked eye. When she picks up a dead kingfisher frozen in ice, Lin Luoran faintly understands the crisis of the Green Mountains world. Is this ice and snow going to seal the entire Green Mountains world? If the ice and snow continue to spread, absolutely no life can survive. The Green Mountains world that the nine-tailed fox family tried so hard to preserve will not be much worse than the Earth today. No wonder the paper crane sent a message saying that the Green Mountains are in danger. But where are Cyan Little Fox and Liao at this time? What is waiting for her at the end of the ice and snow? Lin Luoran doesn't want to find a fox turned into an ice sculpture and a Liao who no longer chatters at the end at all. After a while, White Fairy beside her can't bear it at all. For the first time, Lin Luoran knows that souls of departed are also afraid of ice in addition to fire. This ice and snow can freeze people's primordial spirit. Be careful. White Fairy's face is pale. Lin Luoran's primordial spirit is hidden in the middle pubic region, so she doesn't feel anything wrong. However, White Fairy directly touches the ice and snow with her soul body. Her shoulders are covered with ice and snow, and her face is frosty. When Lin Luoran asks her to go back to the space, White Fairy's hands and feet are stiff. This strange ice and snow can hurt souls of departed. Lin Luoran shrinks her neck without caring about her image. She has to reach the destination as soon as possible before her physical body can resist it. The snowstorm roars. Lin Luoran speeds up. The snow condenses but does not melt. Soon, Lin Luoran's shoulder and hair turn into a white sheet. She looks like a moving snowman. Along the way, they saw more and more stiff and dead animals. The low plants on the ground had long been submerged. Only the towering trees were left standing proudly on the snowfield, retaining the posture before they were frozen. It was like the ice sculpture festival in Bing City before the new era. But with a light touch of his finger, a frozen towering tree fell on the snowfield into pieces. When it collapsed, it was like dominoes falling, and the chain effect caused the snowfield to be covered with snow. The place that used to be a dense forest had all collapsed. Be it the frozen plants or animals, they were all assimilated into the snow on the ground, and it was impossible to tell what they looked like when they were still alive. Lin Luoran feels that her hands and feet are stiff. Her eyelashes are gradually stuck by the falling snow. She can hardly open her eyes. The fire meta flows around and dispels the coldness in her meridians. Before Lin is frozen, she finally sees an ice peak in the distance. The floating cloud is only halfway up the ice peak, which shows how high this mountain is. Snow is falling everywhere. It should be a fairy-like place. However, the white cloud halfway up the mountain seems to be frozen by the ice and snow. It looks dull and the beautiful scenery becomes lifeless. At the foot of the ice peak, there are many crystal and lovely flowers that have not been submerged by the ice and snow. Lin Luoran once saw them in a remote mountain village, so she is familiar with them. However, these flowers, which are said to be able to realize people's wishes, are now so fragile that a large number of them will fall if she moves a little. They will instantly turn into powder and assimilate into the snowfield. They can't even protect themselves, let alone realize people's wishes. Lin Luoran extends her spiritual mind. The entire ice peak is dead silent, without any sign of life. She is a little disappointed. However, with the state of mind of the gathering vitality period, she is no longer the little girl who would lose her mind when she was hot-headed. Lin Luoran still carefully searches the entire area. Her divine sense was carefully probing. Someone had destroyed the paper crane locating spell, but the enemy who had been lurking in the dark along the way didn't give the game away. This was obviously not a happy conclusion. Wait, there are some abnormal fluctuations behind the ice peak. Lin Luoran hesitates for a moment and flies away. After she disappears in the depths of the frozen floating clouds in the mountain, a jackdaw crouching among the branches at the foot of the mountain, which is also frozen, opens its eyes. The sunlight falls on the jackdaw's white eyes, giving off a frightening and strange light. The closer Lin Luoran gets to the top of the mountain, the stronger the soul-freezing fear becomes. Lin Luoran frowns instinctively. When she is about to reach the top of the mountain, she changes her route and takes a detour. The feeling of palpitation fades away. Lin Luoran feels that she has avoided some unknown danger. She climbs over the ice peak from the side and walks in the direction where she found the fluctuations before. On the other side of the ice peak, there is an endless ice field, which looks nothing special. After Lin Luoran bumps into a large area of ice sculpture trees, she has an idea and finally finds something wrong. This ice field is too flat. Although the ground is covered with snow, the ice peak and flat land are either rugged rocks or towering ancient trees. There are also many animal corpses. Only the vast ice field that Lin Luoran sees at this time is as flat as a mirror carefully polished by a craftsman. Mirror. No, it should be a lake. It turns out to be a lake. Lin Luoran carefully feels the fluctuation. Under the thick ice, there is indeed a fluctuation different from water reiki. Fire Phoenix, is there any way to go down? This kind of ice is very difficult to melt. Even if she uses meta, Lin Luoran just subconsciously discusses with Fire Phoenix. Unexpectedly, Fire Phoenix ponders for a while and really nods. Water and fire are incompatible. I don't have a way, but Sister Silver Fish has a way. Little Silver Fish. Lin Luoran has seen the fire of nirvana of Fire Phoenix and the cunning arts of nature of Wood Wolf. However, she has never associated the ignorant little silver fish with the word powerful because of the deep-rooted impression of it at the beginning. When she is in a trance, Fire Phoenix drags out a skeleton from its room with a distressed expression. Lin Luoran finds it familiar. After thinking for a while, she pats her head. Isn't this the dragon skeleton she got in the Dongting Dragon Palace? It has been taken by Fire Phoenix, but there is no news about it. After so many years, she almost forgets it. What's the relationship between the dragon skeleton and the silver fish? Fire Phoenix smiles like a charlatan. Haven't I told you that there is a way for the three of us to get out of this space temporarily? Lin Luoran's eyes are flashing with flames. She is 100% sure that Fire Phoenix, the scumbag, has never said anything. Fire Phoenix avoids Lin Luoran's murderous eyes and murmurs with the silver fish for a while. The confusion on the silver fish's face dissipates a little. Facing Fire Phoenix's entrustment, it nods its head solemnly. Wood Wolf wants to go forward, but it is fanned away by Fire Phoenix's wings. Lin Luoran feels that Fire Phoenix has become very strange after entering the Green Mountains world. This thing used to not take the initiative to explain to her. However, when the paper crane spell is destroyed, it takes the initiative to talk about the past. It also takes the initiative to say that the three residents of the space can go out. Unexpected events that Lin Luoran has never considered come to her one after another. Everything is as strange as the Green Mountains world that seems to be swallowed up by ice and snow. She doesn't even have time to think about the reason why Fire Phoenix becomes strange. She sees the silver-white half-solidified body of the little silver fish jumping into the dragon skeleton. Lin Luoran is speechless. Even White Fairy is not calm. After the little silver fish disappears on the dragon skeleton, the shrinking light on this skeleton which has existed for many years is like the beating frequency of a heart. Some flesh and blood actually appear on the skeleton inexplicably. It is evolving in the direction of perfection. Flesh and blood grow from white bones. Although Lin Luoran has seen many strange things with her own eyes since she embarked on the path of personal ability enhancement, she still pinches her thigh quietly when the dragon skeleton in front of her grows flesh and blood. It gradually becomes plump and is covered with silver dragon scales. The silver dragon opens its heavy eyelids. Its eyes are clear and a little confused. Lin Luoran can't be more familiar with this kind of eyes. It is the little silver fish. Lin Luoran doesn't understand how the little silver fish merges with the dragon skeleton. The giant dragon in front of her is not an illusion. Its flesh and blood are real and White Fairy doesn't see anything wrong. Get out quickly. Sister Silver Fish can't hold on for a long time. Lin Luoran nods. The giant dragon is huge. She sits on the dragon's head and holds the dragon's horns tightly with both hands. The silver dragon coils up and takes Lin Luoran through the thick mist of the space. Lin Luoran is surrounded by a sense of stickiness and suffocation. She suddenly realizes that even if the little silver fish is attached to the dragon skeleton, it is extremely hard for it to get out of the space. At least as the owner of the space, she only needs to think about it and it has never been so hard. After getting rid of the stickiness that binds her body, Lin Luoran has already left the space on the silver dragon. The icy cold air made her shocked. Was the snowstorm coming again? She was riding on the dragon's head, hovering high in the sky far away from the surface of the ice mirror lake, brushing past the sluggish floating clouds. The silver dragon raised its head and glanced at the top of the ice peak, seeming to have noticed something unusual. Hold on to the dragon's horns. Chapter 502. The snowstorm is raging. Lin Luoran holds the dragon's horn tightly. Before the silver dragon breaks the ice, the snowstorm has already arrived. Lin Luoran frowns and instinctively releases a ball of gathering vitality's true fire. The fire goes into the snowstorm cyclone. The cyclone stagnates. Lin Luoran grabs the dragon's horn and dives into the ice lake. The mirror-like ice lake shatters. The broken ice rubs Lin Luoran's cheek. Dragons are the kings of the water. Although the ice and snow are weird, they don't dare to be rash in front of the silver dragon. In the blink of an eye, Lin Luoran is already underwater. She notices the dragon's tail trembling. She is anxious. Has the snowstorm finally caught up with them? Before Lin Luoran can make a move, the silver dragon has taken her all the way to the depths of the lake. The lake naturally avoids them. Unexpectedly, it is not cold. The lake has frozen again. The unknown snowstorm doesn't catch up with them. Lin Luoran looks back. The silver dragon's tail is covered with white frost. It seems that it has been hurt just now. The ice on the lake is more than 10 meters thick. The silver dragon breaks the ice with Lin Luoran. It has been diving for a long time, but it still can't see the bottom. Not to mention fish, even algae can't be seen at the bottom of the lake. Lin Luoran doesn't know why she sensed the fluctuation before. Riding the silver dragon to search in the vast lake, Lin Luoran can't even see a shellfish. Lin Luoran feels that she has been ignored somewhere. She lets the silver dragon stop for a while. Far away from the lake, the light is dim. Together with the muddy lake mud brought by the silver dragon, Lin Luoran's vision is blurred. When the lake mud settles, the view becomes clear. Lin Luoran keenly notices a dim light at the bottom of the lake. It is like a bright moon is hidden in the water. The lake is shaking. Lin Luoran feels that the scene in front of her is quite familiar. Lin Luoran ponders for a while. She remembers that Yang Guo jumped into the cold pond in the Return of the Condor Heroes. There is another world in the pond water. An idea comes to her mind. She pats the silver dragon's forehead. Go there. The silver dragon shakes its body and understands. A pterosaur swims to the light source at the bottom of the lake. Lin Luoran and the silver dragon get into a blue light. The path of light is long and endless. It is hard for the silver dragon to get in and out of it. Lin feels sorry for the silver dragon's injury. She asks the silver fish if it can come out as long as it is attached to the dragon's skeleton. Lin then moves it back to the space. Lin Luoran walks along the tunnel and finally sees the end after half a day. Through a translucent light gate, she faintly hears the noise on the other side. She hesitated for a moment, then stepped through the door. At that moment, Lin Luoran has thought about what is waiting for her behind the door. She can only say that life is always more fantastical than novels and the cultivation world, demons with human heads, snake bodies, minotaur faces, long tails, short ears, all kinds of half-human half-demons formed an encirclement. The anger on their faces is obvious. What surprises Lin is the two people in the middle of the encirclement. A person's face was red, and the expression on his face was very strange. It was Baojia who entered the Green Mountains together. The other old man who is holding Baojia's right calf is Liao, who is in a mess. Lin Luoran feels that her temples are throbbing again. Lin Luoran crosses the light gate and makes some noise. In everyone's eyes, Baojia breathes a sigh of relief, but Liao looks very sad. He is not an alien with a red nose now, but a simple old fisherman she met in Dongting before. Niece, fortunately, you are here. Liao is crying in snot. The hatred of those half-human half-demons holding weapons is immediately drawn to him. Before Liao pounces on her, a minotaur has already waved the metal stick in his hand to hit Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran has a headache. She avoids the minotaur's attack, but the snake tail entangles her again. The scene is extremely chaotic. Liao wants to sneak away, but he is caught by Baojia. Hurry up and settle the trouble you've caused. Liao is grabbed by the collar. Because of the difficulty in breathing, His face turns into eggplant color. The old man wants to run away. Catch him. They are on the same side. Don't let them go. Yes, the human race is the most cunning, colorful spells and all kinds of magic weapons attack. The scene is a mess. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and takes out a few, stinky mushrooms, from the space and throws them around. Sure enough, there is a sound of vomiting. Lin Luoran's fingertips move rhythmically, and the white mist is so thick that nothing can be seen. She also throws a few small spells of nature to confuse people's sight. Lin Luoran takes advantage of the chaos and sneaks away with Baojia and Liao. After a long time, Liao complains that he is suffocated to death. Lin Luoran takes the two out of the soil. Different from the ice outside the lake, it is summer here. In the deep mountains where Lin Luoran and the other two are, birds are singing. Red berries are hanging among the branches, attracting monkeys to climb them and birds to peck them. It is a peaceful scene. The air is so fresh that people can't help but take a few more breaths. Unlike Lin Luoran and Baojia who are standing in the green forest, Liao looks very embarrassed. He is dirty and there are a few rotten leaves on his head. He is counting the ant nests beside the trunk with his eyebrows and eyes covered. Baojia frowns and then relaxes, and then frowns again. Is he your uncle? Uncle? Lin Luoran remembers the scene when she saw Liao holding Baojia's calf. She can't wait to pretend that she doesn't know this old man. Seeing Liao rolling his eyes, Lin Luoran also wonders, why does he cling to you? Baojia looks at Liao sideways. What is his background? He has lived for so many years, but he is still the same. Lin Luoran is stunned. She instantly understands what Baojia means. It turns out that she and Liao are also old acquaintances. Liao is looking at the sky. Lin Luoran frowns slightly after hearing this. Baojia met Liao when she left the earth. They even drifted to the Nami alliance together. It's not a big deal to be separated for some reason. However, Liao happened to sell the great truths to her in the grocery store of the N2 star. What else are you hiding from me? After counting the ants, Liao grunts, now the focus is the cyan little fox. If we don't find a way, it will become an ice cube. Liao is good at changing the topic. He knows exactly what Lin Luoran is thinking. She looks at the mountain forest surrounded by clouds and fog. I came here after receiving your paper cranes. Is this the Green Mountains world? Where is it outside of the ice lake? Liao drives away a silly monkey with a golden wire and a long tail. He picks a wild pear and chews it. This is the Green Mountains world. Outside the lake is also the Green Mountains world. Now the ice and snow are threatening us. If we don't find a way, the little fox will become an Arctic fox sooner or later to survive. This is the Green Mountains world. Lin Luoran looks at the mountains. It is really a primitive world. However, the personal ability of monsters is a little poor. She can't even see a complete humanoid monster. However, thinking of the lack of Diliu syrup, those strange half-human and half-beast monsters with ox heads and horse faces also make sense. Let's not talk about the Green Mountains world first. What happened to you when you came in? What's the matter with the ice and snow outside? Where is Cyan Little Fox at this time? Liao is a little annoyed. It's also my fault. If I didn't go to the temple, nothing would have happened. Cyan Little Fox is now trapped in the temple, and the ice and snow are also here. Now I can't return this thing even if I want to. Liao fumbles in his arms for a long time. Lin Luoran doesn't know where he gets a fiery red diamond-shaped crystal the size of an egg. Lin Luoran suddenly feels hot even though she is a few steps away from it. Liao looks like it is not hot at all. Lin Luoran touches it with her hand and is surprised by the huge fire reiki in the diamond-shaped crystal. With such strong fire reiki, the crystal can be smashed. Maybe a big fire can burn the earth. How can Liao get such a big weapon? The divine hall you mentioned is on the icy peak outside? Liao nods. Lin Luoran points at the diamond-shaped crystal in his hand and asks, "Did you take this crystal and attract the 1,000-mile ice peak?" She has always known that Liao is unreliable in doing things. Logically speaking, he shouldn't have made such a disclosure. The Song of Ice and Fire. Can the fire crystal in the temple be taken casually? Chapter 503. Did it fall down? This is not a good phenomenon. It has been shown in countless novels and movies. Anything related to the words temple and altar will be suppressed under it. It is not a righteous existence. Lin Luoran remembers the raging blizzard. It is really gloomy and frightening, which makes her feel uncomfortable from the bottom of her heart. It is a pity that her ocean of consciousness is unstable because of the foundation building. She can't cast spells at will, and she has lost a lot of confidence. It turns out that Cyan Little Fox can't stand Liao's entanglement. The latter has the power to break the world. When Lin Luoran is still dealing with the Moonstar and busy with the Miaoyin spell conference, Liao and the fox have already returned to the earth and headed for the Green Mountains. Cyan Little Fox disappeared in the Green Mountains. It was not that it didn't want to come out, but it was easy to go in but difficult to come out. When it worked hard to cultivate a second tail and ran out of the Green Mountains, the earth had already become a scorched land. It couldn't find the former Lin family, so it had to run to the Kalahari Desert. Entering the Green Mountains again, Cyan Little Fox now has a little personal ability. It doesn't have to hide with its tail between its legs like 300 years ago. Under the instigation of Liao, a person and a fox wander all over the Green Mountains. Finally, they climb to the temple on the highest peak. God knows why there is a temple in the Green Mountains world. Cyan Little Fox didn't dare to come here 300 years ago. Now it is here, but it still doesn't know which god it worships. It should be known that the nine-tailed fox family in the Green Mountains world can cultivate to the level of celestial fox and prove the Tao with monster body. Why do they need to worship other gods? They are the gods of the Green Mountains world. Liao drags Cyan Little Fox to the highest peak. It is called a temple, but it is actually very decadent. There is nothing unusual about it. This is the nest of the nine-tailed fox. Cyan Little Fox has never thought that there will be insidious things in this dilapidated temple which occupies the highest terrain of the Green Mountains world. Liao is a lively person. Seeing the temple is so dilapidated, he makes an appointment to go down the mountain. However, before we step out of the dilapidated temple, the mountain suddenly shakes a few times. The temple is so dilapidated that the altar collapsed at that time, revealing this broken crystal. How can an earthquake happen so coincidentally? Lin Luoran stares at the diamond-shaped well and is also annoyed. "Uncle Liao, why didn't you return it at that time?" Liao stares at her without saying a word. Lin Luoran blushes. The world of cultivation is not otherworldly. Many cultivators, including Lin Luoran, have the same idea as Liao. Things picked up for free are collectively called lucky chances. When Liao picked it up, he didn't expect it to be so troublesome. Seeing that Lin Luoran doesn't blame him, Liao continues, "The Cyan Little Fox sees something unusual. It asks you to return the crystal. Of course, there is no time to return it." Lin sighs. Liao picks up the crystal. Cyan Little Fox seems to think of something and asks him to return it quickly. Before Liao takes action, a mass of white light rushes out of the broken altar. In the blink of an eye, Foxy was sucked in. Master Liao wanted to reach out to grab it, but his fingers almost froze. Fortunately, Lord Liao was quick enough to throw a treasure inside to protect it. Liao talks about this part proudly, but he is too embarrassed to tell the second part about running away. Lin Luoran knows it and doesn't feel embarrassed to tell him. She just asks him what kind of treasure he threw in. It's a collar. Liao is very proud. That is not an ordinary collar. He woke up from the broken world of immortals and finally picked it up from a pile of junk. After many years of testing, it does have some magical effects. Collar. What kind of collar? Lin Luoran is scared. She thinks something is wrong. Suddenly, she remembers a collar she picked up in the Misty Palace. She takes it out and shows it to Liao. Liao clicks his tongue. It's not as good as mine. It can trap mythical beasts. It is carved with unicorns, dragons, and phoenixes. It's very impressive. So, Cyan Little Fox was caught in a hurry, and you threw an animal collar on it? Liao nods. It's not a shame to match it. Without its master, ordinary people can't get close to Cyan Little Fox. It's a kind of protection. Lin Luoran is speechless. Yes, even a broken boat has 3 pounds of iron nails. It is natural that the animal collar from the world of immortals has some tricks. Although Liao's behavior is absurd, he does it for the Cyan Little Fox. Even so, when Lin Luoran thinks that Cyan Little Fox is trapped by the animal collar, it may be willing to die even if it is protected. That's it, Sundara. After that, you took this crystal and hid in the lake. That's why the outside world is covered with ice and snow. The snowstorm chased the fox to the ice lake and stopped. It was not because of the abnormality of the lake water, but because it was afraid of the crystal in Liao's hand. However, judging from the thickness of the ice in the lake, it was just a matter of time before it chased after the fox and turned the Xanadu on this side of the lake into an ice world. Although the crystal can restrain ice and snow, everything in the world is the same. Fire can restrain water, and water can also put out fire. When the ice and snow is strong enough, no crystal can restrain it no matter how powerful it is. The most important thing is that Cyan Little Fox is still in the hands of the unknown existence. Lin Luoran clears her mind and turns to ask Baojia, how did you get here? Did you see the acacia tree monster? Baojia shakes her head. I woke up in a forest and fought with those monsters several times. Then I met Uncle Liao. Lin Luoran smiles bitterly. Uncle Liao, what did you do to make these monsters angry? Liao is no longer as wretched as before. He straightens his chest and takes out many things from his arms. There are teeth of monsters, spirit herbs, ores, and so on. Lin Luoran and Baojia are dumbfounded at the sight of these things. Could it be that you stole it? It must be so. No wonder the monsters besiege him angrily. For the first time, Lin Luoran feels that she is helping the wicked. Baojia and Liao have been together for a while. She says thoughtfully, you stole these things to anger those monsters. Do you want to lead them to save Cyan Little Fox? Liao's secret is revealed. He laughs awkwardly. Lin Luoran feels a little guilty for wrongly blaming Liao. She thinks about it and shakes her head. The ice and snow are extremely powerful. These monsters are safe and sound now. I'm afraid that you are hiding on this side of the lake with the crystal in your hand. Obviously, they have no chance of winning against the unknown existence. The solution is very simple. She has to return the crystal and place it on the altar of the temple, provided that the crystal can still restrain the powerful ice and snow. The question is, who can put the crystal back? Lin Luoran thinks of her heart palpitations when she was close to the top of the ice peak. It turns out that Liao's plan to provoke the anger of the monsters and then attack the temple together is extremely unsuccessful. If Lin Luoran doesn't appear in time, not only will he be killed by the monsters, but also Baojia will be implicated. Compared with conspiracies, Lin Luoran prefers open and above-board schemes. She takes Liao back to the previous battlefield and lays out all the things Liao stole before. Monsters come one after another, and they don't know what Lin Luoran wants to do. Lin Luoran returns the things. She doesn't instigate or add fuel to the fire. Of course, she doesn't whitewash things. She just tells these monsters about the crisis facing the Green Mountains world at this time. Should they choose to fight with her or be cowardly and wait for the ice and snow to suppress the power of the crystal? In the end, they will die. These monsters should know what to do. Despicable human race, how can we judge whether what you said is true or not? A lark chirps. Liao stole its eggs. It's really hateful. No wonder it is vigilant. Besides, outside the lake is just an affiliated place of the Green Mountains. The Green Mountains are everlasting all 4 seasons. What kind of ice and snow can affect here? These monsters are isolated from the world. There is no human race in the Green Mountains world, and the people here are simple. They have a bad impression of Liao, whom they first met. Hearing the lark's words, all monsters look at Lin Luoran suspiciously. Lin Luoran doesn't refute. She puts the crystal in her hand into the space in public. Without the crystal, the monsters stand very close to the light gate of the ice lake. The cold air coming from the sparkling twisted wall makes everyone shrink their necks. A lot of moss grows on the moist ground. The vibrant moss has been covered with a layer of frost in just a few minutes. The air of ice and snow ignores the barrier of the lake, making people feel cold from the bottom of their hearts. They finally understand that what Lin Luoran said is true. The Green Mountains world is facing a life and death situation. Either the glorious fire will suppress the white snow, or the everlasting Green Mountains will become a barren land of snow. This is the battle song of ice and fire. The monsters have been singing it unconsciously. Chapter 504. The atmosphere is subtle and complicated. Monsters and Lin Luoran and other 2 people are guarding near the light gate. The crystal has been taken out a long time ago. The everlasting warmth in the air comes back. The frost on the moss fades and it becomes green again. What to do? This is the same question flashing over the heads of monsters and Lin Luoran and other 2 people. Unfortunately, the 2 sides have just made peace and the atmosphere is so solemn that they can't talk easily for a while. Monsters and cultivators don't have to eat. However, Liao has a long life and he is actually no different from mortals. After the previous escape, Liao's stomach starts to growl when everything is quiet. He feels so ashamed. Lin Luoran takes out a few fruits and throws them to Liao. The skin is soft and the flesh is plump. When she bites them, the fragrance of fruits fills the air. The lark turns its head. Its round eyes roll a few times and it lowers its head to comb the feathers on its wings. It doesn't run around with an incomplete appearance like other monsters. It still looks like its original body with a beautiful feather crown on its head. Its mouth is small and conical. Its wings are pointed and long, and its tail is a little short. Its gray appearance has nothing to do with beauty, nor does it have power or deterrence. Only its voice is wonderful. Although it talks endlessly, it is not annoying. The bird is secretly looking at Lin Luoran, and Lin Luoran is also looking at it. Compared with those monsters, the lark is weak, but it can stay steadily. It is smart. Although its words are sharp, Lin Luoran always feels that it is more like the bird's camouflage. These monsters have enough time to think, but Lin Luoran can't waste time with them. Cyan Little Fox is still in the hands of Blizzard. God knows how long the animal trap thrown by Liao can last. It is absolutely impossible for the 3 of them to attack the ice peak. However, how can they unite monsters? The lark on the opposite side is secretly looking at her again. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and takes a handful of cherries out of space with sweet potato leaves. She doesn't say it, so others just think she takes something out of the storage space. Although the cherries are a little bigger and redder, it is nothing strange in the eyes of these monsters. However, after inviting the lark to taste the cherries produced in her space, Lin Luoran really strikes up a conversation with the lark. Lin Luoran is surprised by the wisdom hidden under the chirping of this bird. As soon as she starts to talk, the lark interrupts her when she is about to encourage the monsters to act. After eating the cherry, it starts to talk about ancient legends. The Green Mountains world used to be a place where hundreds of races contended for supremacy. Now it's rare for even a human race to appear. The lark spits out a cherry stone. It looks around and whispers in Lin Luoran's ear, "The monsters don't like the mountain outside, but I heard that there is an evil ghost under it." Evil spirit? Lin Luoran rolls her eyes at the lark. Even cultivators of the gathering vitality period are afraid of it. How can it be an ordinary evil ghost? What they don't know is that souls are the weakest. When White Fairy was in the abyss, she was even afraid of the wind. Ordinary ghosts can't resist a cultivator's fireball spell. Compared with cultivators who pursue the Tao of nature, Mao Shan Taoists who catch ghosts and monsters are just small tricks. However, what the lark says is a clue. Liao comes up with a licking face, the one under it may be an old acquaintance. With this, he sneaks a look at Baojia and then sits up straight. Lin Luoran has an idea. Liao came earlier than them and he is an old monster who has lived for countless years. Although he has no personal ability, he can never be equated with illiterate in terms of knowledge. He is more like a mobile library in the world of cultivation. Why does Liao sneak a look at Baojia? The blizzard under the altar is an old acquaintance, but it can only be Liao's old acquaintance. How can it have anything to do with Baojia? Lin Luoran shakes her head, trying to get rid of this absurd idea. Liao mouths to her. After guessing for a while, she finally grasps the syllable that Liao didn't say. Kamehameha. Snake. She is speechless because of Liao. She turns her head and talks with the lark for a while. Then she suddenly freezes. Liao is not talking about Kamehameha, but Guizhong. Old acquaintance, Baojia, Green Mountains. There is a sentence in Guizhong, Qiyu came from amniotic fluid. He had 8 arms, 8 toes, and a sparse head. He climbed Juneo to attack Kongsang. The Yellow Emperor killed him in Green Mountains. How can she even forget this? In the legend of Huaxia, the Yellow Emperor's family lives in the Kunlun Hill and takes the 9-tailed fox, Lu Wu, as its protector. In addition to ordinary mortals, the Jiuli tribe and the Dongyi tribe also live in the Green Mountains. Their protector is the 9-tailed fox. When the veil of the fog is lifted, thoughts can easily spread along a certain point. Lin Luoran narrows her eyes and thinks a lot. Baojia is a descendant of the Jiuli tribe. The fake saintess is the saintess of the Jiuli tribe. The 9-tailed fox is the protector of the Jiuli tribe. No wonder the fake saintess planned to take Cyan Little Fox with her when she was about to leave the earth with the jade stairs. Although Cyan Little Fox doesn't know her, the fake saintess probably has an old relationship with the 9-tailed fox tribe. Qiyu came from amniotic fluid. The Yellow Emperor killed him in Green Mountains. Is it possible that the blizzard under the altar has something to do with Qiyu? Or it might even be Qiyu. Liao's winking is not groundless. If the one running out of the altar is really the ancestor of Baojia's family, this matter will really fall on Baojia's head, but if she and Liao make a wrong judgment, Baojia may be in danger. Lin Luoran hesitates. Liao rolls his eyes quickly and tries to please Baojia with a sneaky look. Baojia touches her face. There is no dirt on it, but she always feels that these two people are staring at her strangely. The lark sees Lin Luoran's hesitation. It is anxious, but it doesn't show it on its face. It jumps back to the monsters. As a lark with extremely poor congenital physique, it can get to where it is today not only because of a good chance but also because of its wisdom. Lin Luoran just wants to save the Cyan Little Fox. For these monsters living in the Green Mountains, if the grass and trees wither, they will really die. Being stared at by Liao, Baojia is restless. She finds an excuse to get some fresh air and runs into the forest. Someone breaks the silence, and the monsters start to talk noisily. Some of them are so arrogant that they directly go to the ice peak. Others say that they should work together to break the border of the Green Mountains and go to the human world. Lin Luoran doesn't refute them. She just calmly tells them the current situation of the earth. The monsters are even more restless. There are wolves in front and tigers behind. Does Tao of Nature want to kill the monsters in the Green Mountains? The lark tilts its head and has an idea. Taking advantage of the commotion of the monsters, it sneaks along the direction where Baojia gets some fresh air. Nolan, no, her surname is Qin, and her name is Baojia. A blade of grass as wide as a finger twines around her fingertips. Even if she doesn't admit it, she can't change the fact that Nolan and Baojia are the same person. Whether it is Bao or Jia, they both mean auspicious in Huaxia language. Her birth is bound to be the treasure of the Qin family. Facing the past that she has completely forgotten, Baojia is afraid and envious. She has dealt with Qin Baojia on the Nami star, so she knows how much Lin Luoran values her friendship with Qin Baojia. She is very envious that Qin Baojia has such a good friend. However, she is just wearing the shell of Qin Baojia. Her heart is completely different, including personality. From Lin Luoran's description, it is not difficult to know that Qin Baojia is reckless and lives like a flame. However, Manja Nolan is an ignorant newborn, drifting among stars, and then being adopted. She has no conditions to be reckless at all. Is she worthy of the friendship that belongs to Qin Baojia and Lin Luoran? The blade of grass is rubbed by Baojia. Baojia's narrow eyes are shining. The snow sword suddenly comes out of its sheath and slashes at a big tree nearby. Blue light falls, and there are birds chirping among the dense branches. A few feathers fall with leaves. The lark is very angry. Baojia stands with the sword. She is not angry but laughs. You follow me secretly. Why can't I cut you with my sword? The lark is sad about the fallen feathers. It jumps while chatting with Baojia. Seeing Baojia's impatient face, it goes forward and bewitches her with words, "Hey, you are so powerful. Haven't you ever thought about helping your friend?" Friend? In the eyes of the monster, she and Lin Luoran are friends. Apart from this, speaking of power, how can the bearing essence period be compared with the gathering vitality period? Seeing Lin Luoran frowning, she knows that this matter is very difficult. This stinky bird actually comes to make fun of her. The lark coos twice, "Don't look at me like that." Just now, the other girl and the old man who stole my eggs secretly talked a lot. It must have something to do with you, and the ice peak outside. Baojia returns the snow sword to the hairpin and still puts it in her hair. She lowers her eyes and no one knows what she is thinking. Did she guess wrong? The lark sighs and wants to fly away. Baojia looks up and smiles. Chapter 505. The monsters quarrel for a long time but they still can't figure out who is more important. They are counting on this group of mobs to kill their way to the ice peak. Dark clouds cover Lin Luoran's head and she can't get rid of it. She squints at Liao. Liao's face turns blue and then purple, and then from red to white, as if he has knocked over a pallet. He is so ashamed. He was planning to provoke these monsters to go to the ice peak before. However, it seems that he will only be a hindrance if he goes there. Stop quarreling. In the face of these monsters, Lin Luoran doesn't have a good temper. She directly rewards the monsters with a heavy rain of pepper. In the sound of sneezing, they are finally willing to focus their eyes on one person. Lin Luoran feels sad. What's the big deal about glaring? At least they are willing to look at her. Speaking of which, what happens in the Green Mountains has nothing to do with me. If you keep quarreling, I will go out with the crystal that can stop the ice and snow. Then we can go our separate ways. You are willing to be ice sculptures for thousands of years. What does it have to do with me? This is a blatant threat. Many monsters grind their teeth at Lin Luoran, but she just pretends not to see it. If she wants to attack the ice peak, she can only rely on surprise. After half a day, Lin Luoran has gained something. She even has an extremely bold plan in her mind. There is an altar in the temple of the ice peak. As long as the crystal is placed on the altar again, the Green Mountains world will not be restored to its previous appearance, but at least the ice and snow will not continue to spread. The crystal is lying quietly in her palm. The weather is sunny, and it reflects glazed brilliance in the light. What if there is more than one crystal? The bold and risky idea makes Lin Luoran's heart beat like a drum. If she uses the fake crystal to fish in troubled waters, with the number of monsters going up the mountain from different directions, can she deceive the snowstorm? Before Lin Luoran can speak, the lark flies from the dense forest with panic in its eyes. Your friend went up the mountain alone. Lin Luoran's pupils shrink. She clutches the slender neck of the lark. What did you say to her? Why would Baojia go to the ice peak alone? She was guarding the light gate. Where did Baojia go? The camp of humans and monsters is different. Although the lark is usually naggy and annoying, once Lin Luoran becomes hostile, all monsters will still stand on the side of the lark. The war is about to break out. The mist beads on the treetops are condensed by the momentum of the monsters. They hang in the air and don't fall. Compared with Liao, who is sweating, it is quite like the climax of a mime. Liao barely saves the lark from Lin Luoran. He is so nervous that his face turns green. Let's talk nicely, let's talk nicely. The lark hides behind Liao and shouts hoarsely, I can't stop her if she wants to go. Baojia walked out from the bottom of the lake. The entrance of the underground tunnel leading to the ice peak is in the territory where the lark has lived for generations. It stinks and looks like a big cesspool. No wonder the lark knows that the tunnel leads to the outside of the Green Mountains. However, it has never taken the shortcut for hundreds of years. It stinks and is so dirty that there is no place to step. Lin Luoran hands the fire crystal which is born with the strange fire to the lark. I will take the real crystal away. If we don't cooperate well, we will die together. Hiding in the inner mirror is just a struggle. The faces of the lark and other monsters all change. No matter how angry they are, they can't lose their temper. Lin Luoran is telling the truth. Liao is dragged down the cave by Lin Luoran. He almost faints on the spot. He has lived for so many years. The worst time was when he was trapped in the Gobi Desert. He dug a hole and hid there for half a year. He has eaten scorpions, rat blood, and live spiders. However, such a smelly tunnel. Liao barely suppresses the nausea in his stomach and looks at Lin Luoran beside him. Linny is very powerful. She doesn't care about filth. In this kind of environment, she can also be indifferent, which makes the knowledgeable Liao admire her. They are both human beings. His legs are full of feces while Lin Luoran is clean. Why is the gap so big? Liao finally finds the light covering Lin Luoran's body. She is not stepping on the ground at all. Liao pinches his nose and admits defeat. He secretly despises cultivators for 100 times. However, Lin Luoran suddenly hands him a plant similar to golden grass. What is it? Chewing it. Otherwise, are you sure you can walk there? Linny is a good person. Liao grabs the golden grass and throws it into his mouth to chew. It tastes sweet, sour, bitter, spicy, and salty. His nose is full of tears. He points at Lin Luoran but can't say a word. Lin Luoran is not in a good mood. She only cares about hurrying on the way. She has no time to comfort Liao's fragile heart. Liao feels sorry for himself for a while. When his exploding taste buds calm down, his mouth is numb. This is not a spirit herb. It is clearly a poison. However, his nose is so irritated that he can't smell any odor at all. When they go far, the smelly tunnel is actually a different world. Maybe they are under the ice lake. The tunnel is damp and cold, but the light of treasures is shining. They are inlaid with many gems of various colors. Lin Luoran doesn't know if they are left by a lark who loves money. Any one of them can be auctioned at a sky-high price on the earth before the new era. The timing is not right and it is not a spirit stone. Lin Luoran doesn't even bother to lift her eyelids. Liao can't enhance his personal ability. Spirit stones are useless to him, let alone ordinary gems. As Lin Luoran rushes on the way, she takes some time to explore the space with her spiritual mind. There is a dragon corpse on the ground. Its bones and flesh are fresh, but its eyeballs are dead. Where is little silver fish? Is it okay? Dragon is the king of the sea. With a complete dragon skeleton, little silver fish can barely cast spells against nature and get out of the shackles of space. Phoenix is already the top existence among birds. If Fire Phoenix wants to get out of space, Lin Luoran can provide it with a phoenix skeleton. Hearing Lin Luoran's question, the dragon corpse reluctantly opens its eyes. In the blink of an eye, the lifeless dragon body becomes alive again. It turns out that little silver fish is still in the dragon body. Linny, it's dangerous ahead. Don't go. Little silver fish's soft voice doesn't match the huge dragon body. Lin Luoran can hear the worry in its words. Among the three monsters, Fire Phoenix and Silver Fish have been together for the longest time. Fire Phoenix often has a sharp tongue, but it cares about Lin Luoran the most. Little Silver Fish is confused, but it doesn't mean that it is a fool. If it says it is dangerous, then it is really dangerous. Is it dangerous? Since Lin Luoran stepped on the road of personal ability enhancement, she has never had a peaceful life. Cultivators go against nature. Why should Lin Luoran be afraid of this little danger? After comforting little silver fish, Lin Luoran withdraws her spiritual mind from the space. The tunnel suddenly narrows and loses the bright light of the gems along the way. The dark and empty space in front of her makes people feel cold as if it can devour everything. Liao's heart beats a little fast unconsciously, and his steps have slowed down. Wait. It can be seen that the absurd and unruly Liao is very hesitant. After hesitating for a long time, he reluctantly takes out 2 folded squares of yellow paper tied with red strings from his arms. He hangs one on his neck and hands the other to Lin Luoran. Protective figure. Lin Luoran takes it. It is just an ordinary yellow paper without any leakage of Reiki. However, Liao has an extraordinary background. The things collected by him are definitely not ordinary. Lin Luoran also solemnly hangs it on her neck like him. This is the exorcism figure drawn by the first celestial master Zhang himself. Liao briefly tells the origin of the yellow figure. Since the world of cultivation has declined, the celestial master Taoism, which is an unorthodox school, has no way to survive. The exorcism figure drawn by the first celestial master Zhang himself is really an amazing object. However, Liao's understatement is really not his usual show-off temperament. Lin Luoran suddenly understands that Liao is not confident because he hangs the exorcism figure drawn by the celestial master Zhang around his neck. That thing has completely woken up. Liao murmurs absent-mindedly. The deep black hole not only devours light but also the courage and fearlessness deep in people's hearts. Lin Luoran feels that if she continues to hesitate, not to mention what Liao will think, even she will lose the courage to move forward. Lin Luoran takes the lead and steps into the dark cave. Liao sighs, but he has to follow her in. In fact, it is completely different from what they think. It is very close, but there is no darkness or narrowness. The green gravel path is winding upward. No one knows where it leads, but the overall environment is refreshing and reassuring. Is this the belly of the mountain? Does the tunnel lead directly to the belly of the ice peak? Lin Luoran can't believe how fast her luck turns. Liao opens his eyes wide. He pinches and bites the bluish stone, and his voice is trembling. Linny, come and see, the world is so big that nothing is too strange. Lin Luoran is no longer the country bumpkin rookie who made a fuss when she saw a glowing stone. Liao asks her to see it. Lin Luoran finally notices the bluish stone carefully. It is smooth without polishing, and its texture is like jade. The most important thing is that Lin Luoran knows this thing, 10,000-year hollow azurite. Oh my god, is this mountain made of 10,000-year hollow azurite? She once got a small piece of 10,000-year hollow azurite from Danling Taoist. It is so precious. Melting the powder in the alchemy furnace can improve the level of elixirs. It is a good thing that everyone in the world of cultivation will fight for. White Fairy also likes it very much. Lin Luoran has to dig a big piece for White Fairy to fulfill her promise. Liao's face is shaking. He suddenly realizes something, but he is also shocked and scared. No wonder there are fewer and fewer 10,000-year hollow azurite left in the world of cultivation. Even if the Green Mountains world has not been separated, Earth cultivators can't find it. Who could have thought that someone would use 10,000-year hollow azurite as a mountain to perform a spell against nature? A spell against nature? Lin Luoran is creeped out by his words. Liao pinches a small piece of 10,000-year hollow azurite. His eyes are looking at the end of the winding path. 10,000-year hollow azurite, also known as Green Mountain Stone, is a natural treasure associated with the Green Mountains world. It is just a small trick for cultivators to use it to make elixirs. In fact, its main effect is to consolidate the soul and reshape the body. Consolidate the soul and reshape the body. No wonder White Fairy wants 10,000-year hollow azurite. Wait, consolidate the soul and reshape the body? Lin Luoran thinks of the cold snowstorm and the possible identity of snowstorm. She is also worried. Consolidate the soul and reshape the body. Is it what I think? Seeing her expression, Liao seems to understand. This old rascal is almost crying. Chapter 506. That thing. Thinking of the ferocious ancient existence, Liao and Lin Luoran both guess that blizzard is Chiyu, but they don't want to say it directly. They all use that thing instead, as if it will disturb something if they call it by its name. Resurrection is also evil in the eyes of cultivators who fight against nature. Cultivators can reincarnate and reincarnate. These two situations are not common, but there are precedents in the world of cultivation. Resurrection was the only way. Just thinking about it made him feel uncomfortable. Resurrection is not rare. Zombies in Huaxia folklore are mortals buried in the land of evil after death. Their corpses come back to life and become monsters living on livestock and human blood. Of course, there are many high-level zombies with intelligence, but they will never be the same as the person buried in the soil before. If the blizzard in the temple is really Chiyu. Lin Luoran doesn't care whether the ancient fierce god wants to resurrect or not. However, if the price of resurrection of blizzard is to turn the Green Mountains into a world of ice and snow and even spread to the earth, Lin Luoran can't just sit back and do nothing. More importantly, blizzard still holds Cyan Little Fox as a hostage. Maybe there is also a reckless Baojia. Does it gather all the 10,000-year hollow azurite in the Green Mountains? Every moment she stays in such a place can nourish her ocean of consciousness. However, she can't stay in such a good place for healing for a long time. Lin Luoran's feeling at this moment is like seeing a bowl of iced black plum soup in the hottest days of summer. She wants to drink it to quench her thirst, but unfortunately, she is suffering from menstrual pain. Let's go. What else can she do except to sigh about her bad luck? Seeing that Lin Luoran is not afraid, Liao also looks less serious. He comforts Lin Luoran. In fact, the situation is not so bad. If it really comes back to life, it won't let us go to the belly of the mountain. Lin Luoran nods. Liao has the same idea as her. They were just in a panic just now. Lin Luoran has already taken a step, but she suddenly stops and mutters to herself, "Is it too wasteful? What is wasteful?" Of course, it is this 10,000-year hollow azurite mountain. Since it can consolidate souls, it should be useful for White Fairy, Fire Phoenix, Silver Fish, and Wood Wolf. It is also a good material for making elixirs. There is no reason to waste it. Uncle Liao, do you think it knows we're here? Liao really wants to deny it against his conscience. However, he and Blizzard have met face to face. It is not easy to escape. With that thing's ability, they have gone deep into the mountain. How can they completely avoid its eyes and ears? While talking to herself, Lin Luoran has already taken out her flying sword and dug dozens of cubic meters of 10,000-year hollow azurite into the space. Bah, it would be a waste not to take it. Otherwise, they would die in the Green Mountains. If everyone could go back alive, these were all profits without any cost. The spaces several people saw the 10,000-year hollow azurite thrown in like it didn't cost anything, and their eyes turned scarlet. The fire phoenix hissed, "Good stuff, good stuff." With so many 10,000-year hollow azurite, the fire phoenix feels that it has a bright future. Besides, its fate has been linked with Lin Luoran for a long time, so it doesn't care about hiding. It transforms into a fire mirror, and sees the piles of 10,000-year hollow azurite outside the space. The fire phoenix is already drooling. Unfortunately, its saliva is like a stream of fire. It burns Lin Luoran's medicine seedlings. Seeing that Lin Luoran is about to get angry, the fire phoenix quickly diverts its attention. It points to a certain direction in the fire mirror and makes a gesture with its mouth. Lin Luoran looks at the direction it is pointing at. After thinking for a moment, her spiritual mind leaves the space. Seeing that Lin Luoran's eyes are red from digging, Liao touches the motionless exorcism figure on his neck. He is also very dissatisfied with the current situation. Only a fool would give up such an opportunity. He takes out a miniature copper hoe from his arms and extorts a few top-grade spirit stones from Lin Luoran to inlay it. With Wacken running, the copper hoe is unstoppable. Its digging speed is even faster than Lin Luoran's. The copper hoe is powered by spirit stones. People who use it don't need to have personal ability. It seems that someone made it for Liao. Lin Luoran doesn't know where his storage space is. The 10,000-year hollow azurite disappears at the speed of being eaten by rats. The two dig for a while, but nothing unusual happens. Lin Luoran feels bored. She looks at Liao and sees the helplessness in each other's eyes. Is Blizzard too cunning? Or does it not care about these 10,000-year hollow azurite that has been dug away? It can't be lured out at all. The feeling of being in the light while the enemy is in the dark is not good. The two have to be extremely alert and go up the stone steps along the rugged path. Lin Luoran pretends to talk in a relaxed manner. It seems that she doesn't care about Blizzard. In fact, except for the exorcism figure whose effect is not clear, Lin Luoran has almost prepared all the killer moves within her ability. She is not too worried about Liao. This old monster has lived for countless years. He can survive in the dangerous world of cultivation with ease. It is impossible that he doesn't have some trump cards to save his life. The ice peak is towering. Lin Luoran estimates that they have already walked half of it. She doesn't know where the path continues. Baojia, who entered the tunnel before them, is still nowhere to be seen. Lin Luoran is worried and her face is gloomy. Liao suddenly tilts his head and looks sideways. Lin Luoran can't help but stop. Drip. Drip. Drip, is it a rhythmic dripping sound? Lin Luoran doesn't dare to relax. She has accelerated her pace with Liao. The sound of dripping water comes from the northwest. When they arrive quickly, they find a gap coiled on the mountain wall like a centipede. Wet and cold ice water flows out of the gap and drips on the ground, creating an empty echo in the belly of the mountain. Lin Luoran knocks on the mountain wall with her hand. The sound is dull and unstable. It means that the other side of the mountain wall is not solid. It is probably a shaking liquid. Haven't we gotten out of the range of the ice lake after walking for so long? Liao is confused. No way. There is no illusion circle in the belly of the mountain. The two are not ordinary people. They can't be fooled by the trick of ghosts going around the wall. The terrain has been rising. Lin Luoran and Liao firmly believe that they are taking a shortcut to the top of the mountain. Have they never gotten out of the range of the ice lake? Lin Luoran thinks for a while and turns to ask Liao, "Do you have something waterproof?" Liao glares at her. He takes out a blue pearl the size of a pigeon egg and puts it in his mouth. Lin Luoran secretly vomits blood. It is a water-repellent bead. Liao is definitely a rich man. Seeing that Liao is ready, she summons her flying sword. It seems that she is ready to cut down and split this thin mountain wall. When the sword light falls, it suddenly tilts to the right. A dragonfly that quietly stops on the mountain wall is killed by Lin Luoran with one strike. The dragonfly is dead. Liao's mouth is stuffed with the water-repellent bead. His cheeks are bulging. He vaguely says, "No, no blood. It has been frozen. How can there be a dragonfly in the belly of the mountain? There is no breath of life. It is really easy to hide. Unfortunately, how can she really split the mountain wall and let the lake water pour in?" Lin Luoran sneers. She doesn't forget the blizzard that almost froze the tail of the silver dragon's corpse. If she and Liao are surrounded by the inverted lake water, they will be instantly frozen by ice and snow. Lin Luoran is not sure that she can escape. If Fire Phoenix doesn't take the risk to remind her, she will never find out that it is this dragonfly that has been leading them forward. No, it leads them here just to confuse Lin Luoran to split the mountain wall. Even she is not the same as before. She has a backup plan, not to mention that thing. Liao pinches the body of the dragonfly and crushes it into ice pieces. He doesn't find anything. He claps his hands and is about to spit out the water-repellent bead in his mouth. Lin Luoran's face suddenly changes. She pulls Liao's hand and runs away desperately. Liao almost swallows the water-repellent bead in a hurry. He is choked with tears. Lin Luoran drags Liao and flies forward along the winding path as fast as lightning. It is only a few hundred meters away. The thin mountain wall can't withstand the waves and collapses. The turbulent lake water rushes in instantly. The huge momentum makes Lin Luoran stagger before she can fly far. The lake water rushes in with a rumble. Lin Luoran ignores the gravel hitting her body. Liao doesn't say anything either. As long as they are trapped in the lake water, she and Liao can only be the buried sundae in the ice cream sundae. Damn it. They don't find a shortcut. It is obviously the blizzard that invites them into the trap. They can only keep running along the winding path. The speed of the lake water pouring in gradually slows down. Lin Luoran and Liao are quite embarrassed. Listening to the cracking sound of the lake water freezing, the two have no way out. At the end of the winding path, there is dazzling white light. That is the reflection of sunlight on the snow. Lin Luoran and Liao walk out of the mountainside and have reached the top of the ice peak. In front of them is a huge stone building with towering square stone pillars and excellent lighting. The walls are half the height of a person. It is not as delicate as the palaces of ancient Huaxia. The architectural style is big, rough, and magnificent. It is a vast expanse of whiteness. The wind and snow are blocked outside the stone wall, which is half the height of a person. It doesn't cover the charm of the stone palace at all. Instead, it makes it more unattainable. Such a magnificent stone palace is not a small temple, as Liao and the lark said. If it is really ancient Qiyu under the altar, maybe only such a place is barely worthy of him. The palace is silent. The imagined danger has never happened. The long silence is enough to make people feel cold. Lin Luoran and Liao are on guard, waiting quietly. Until a small drop of ice water drips into Liao's neck, he looks up, and his wrinkled face suddenly tightens. Above the high dome, there are dense white lines like a spider web. In the white icicles, thousands of ice pupas are hanging upside down. Those lifelike faces. Just a moment ago, everyone was discussing how to create a diversion to deal with the blizzard on the ice peak together. At this moment, their eyes are closed tightly, and they look peaceful. They are tightly sealed by translucent ice, and there is no sign of life on them. Messy hair and broken wings are facing the direction of Lin Luoran's head. It is the lark who has a heavy responsibility. All kinds of monsters and ice pupas are crystal clear and quiet. They are mocking Lin Luoran's self-righteousness with the obvious fact, this is not the song of ice and fire. The spark of hope may have been silently annihilated when the blizzard woke up. Lin Luoran is stunned. She stares at an ice puppet in the distance. She seems to be stimulated by something and strides forward. All kinds of ice pupas retreat in her retinas. Lin Luoran faintly hears laughter from far away. Chapter 507. The laughter comes from far to near, intermittent. The gloominess can't hide the deep complacency. Lin Luoran runs in the vast stone palace. She looks at the ice pupa far away. No matter how close she gets, it always keeps a relative distance from her. Is the ice pupa moving or the stone palace turning? Baojia. Although it is so far away, Lin Luoran still recognizes that the person wrapped in the ice pupa is Baojia. Baojia frowns. Her fingers are pinching an unfinished spell. Her clothes are flying. Time is frozen before she attacks. The expression of surprise is frozen on her face. Lin Luoran is exhausted. The long-lost sweat makes her wet. When she finally comes under the ice pupa, she smiles unconsciously. She has to put Baojia down. Lin Luoran jumps to cut off the spider silk and catches the ice pupa. Her fingers are a little stiff when she touches the ice directly. The chill deep into her soul makes her thinking slow. She has to melt the ice to let Baojia out. Lin Luoran has a lot of flames. Cultivators, true fire spells that can use fire reiki between heaven and earth, fire phoenixes, fire of nirvana, and the wonderful word, fire, taught by, the great truths. Which one should she use? The strange ice can freeze people's thinking. The first three kinds of flames seem not to be able to deal with it. Lin Luoran meditates on the strokes of the word, fire. However, in this ice and snow day, she is surrounded by coldness and exuberant water reiki. She can't feel the word, fire, at all. She can't even pick up the pen to draw the word, fire. Beads of sweat slide down her forehead, pass her nose, and drip on the ice pupa with a sizzling sound. Lin Luoran's thinking is slow. She hasn't figured out why sweat can melt the ice. The next moment, she is surprised. Baojia in the ice pupa struggles to open her eyes. It's so cold, Baojia is still alive. Lin Luoran lowers her head to listen to Baojia's voice. Through the ice, her friend's voice is so low that she can barely hear the word, cold. How can she not be cold when she is wrapped in ice? Help me. Luo, Luo. Luo. Lin Luoran hasn't heard anyone call her Luo for more than 300 years. Her sluggish thinking has a flash of inspiration. Is it a blessing in disguise for Baojia to recover her memory? This possibility bewitches Lin Luoran. She cries out of frustration. Her tears fall on the ice pupa. What should she do? She still can't write the word, fire. Fire Phoenix will help her. Lin Luoran wants to explore the bead with her spiritual mind, but she can't do it in a panic, which makes her more anxious. Don't worry, I will save you. Baojia's voice is getting weaker. Pearl. Could the bead save Baojia? Lin Luoran touches the ice pupa. In a panic, she even wants to take the bead off her wrist. The faint laughter rings again. Lin Luoran sweats profusely. She doesn't see that, Baojia, who has been moaning in the ice pupa, slightly raises the corner of her mouth, showing a sarcastic and proud smile. No. You can't take off the bead. Who was shouting? Lin Luoran frowns. The bead is not very obedient, and so is the fire phoenix. She can't save Baojia. She has to take it off. There is a small group of red light on her chest, which is particularly warm. Lin Luoran is confused for a moment. Something is repelling the chill and she slows down her movements. The red light is getting brighter and brighter, illuminating Baojia's face in the ice pupa. Lin Luoran sees the smile that hasn't been taken back clearly. A string in her mind suddenly tightens. In the raging fire, Lin Luoran subconsciously retreats. With a light crack, Lin Luoran retreats to the gate of the stone hall. She doesn't wake up until she is blown by the roaring cold wind. She sighs slightly, but she can't hide her disappointment. The stone hall is real, and the ice pupa above her head is real, but the Baojia, who remembers her, is fake. Lin Luoran looks at the floating snowstorm not far away, and the horror penetrates into her bones. A piece of black paper figure falls on the stone slab in front of the snowstorm. The red string is broken. Lin Luoran has understood what happened in an instant. If it weren't for the exorcism figure that works at the critical moment, she might have given her most mysterious trump card to the enemy. Liao is still giggling in place. She doesn't know what kind of illusion he is in. However, the exorcism figure on his neck is firmly hanging. It seems that he can still hold on and is not in danger. Lin Luoran looks at the floating snowstorm with a stiff face. Who are you? Fine Edelweiss is spinning and dancing, and the snowstorm is buzzing with laughter. It is a thick and stiff male voice. Maybe it hasn't spoken for a long time, so it can't speak smoothly. No. I guessed it. It is really the ancient Qi Yu who is suppressed in the Green Mountains by the Yellow Emperor? Logically speaking, the situation is the same as what Shi and Liao think. However, Lin Luoran always feels that something is strange. If Qi Yu really wakes up, what is his purpose of detaining Cyan Little Fox? The nine-tailed fox is the guardian beast of the Zhili tribe. It has no reason to detain Cyan Little Fox. What do you want to do? The snowstorm stops and seems to be thinking about Lin Luoran's question. A vague human figure can be seen in the center of the snowstorm. Give me the sacred pearl and let them go. Snowstorm refers to the ice pupas that are spreading above her head. Lin Luoran shakes her head. She is not a saint who will exchange her sacred pearl for these monsters that she doesn't know. The snowstorm is not angry at her refusal. A gust of cold air whizzes away, and the ice pupas above her head are constantly changing their positions. When they stop, two ice pupas attract Lin Luoran's attention. One is a cyan fox sealed in ice, and the other is a beautiful woman standing with a sword on her back. They are Cyan Little Fox and Baojia. The Cyan Little Fox is bound by a collar, holding up a free space. Only the outer layer is sealed by ice and snow. Hearing the noise, it opens its eyes reluctantly. Seeing the scene in front of it, its eyes are full of joy and worry. Baojia's eyes are closed tightly. Lin Luoran can't tell whether she is dead or alive. The snowstorm buzzes, exchange for the sacred pearl. Sacred pearl, Lin Luoran touches her wrist. Qi Yu has her lifeline. He threatens her with Cyan Little Fox and Baojia to exchange for the sacred pearl. The sacred pearl is a rare paradise for cultivators. But what can it do for Qi Yu who only has his soul left? Lin Luoran remembers the faint laughter and frowns. You are not Qi Yu. Who are you? A pair of eyes falls on Lin Luoran through the flying snowflakes. The eyes are especially reluctant to part with the sacred pearl on her wrist. Miss Lin, it's been a long time. The rough male voice turns into a female voice. Just like the laughter at the beginning, it sounds familiar. Miss Lin, in her memory, someone has called her like this. Because it is too special, Lin Luoran thinks for a while and stares at the snowstorm in disbelief. Are you, Sakurako Asada? Lin Luoran frowns deeply. Thinking of several Nihanese who disappeared with Cyan Little Fox in Weifang more than 300 years ago, she is more sure of her guess. The female voice is indeed Sakurako Asada. Lin Luoran thinks they must be dead. Unexpectedly, Sakurako Asada seems to have a different situation. Now she is neither human nor ghost, but also very powerful. Lin Luoran can't help but breathe a sigh of relief. It is easier to deal with Sakurako Asada who has only 300 years of cultivation than to face ancient Qi Yu. There is only one thing that doesn't make sense. Why does Sakurako Asada want the sacred pearl? After Lin Luoran calls out the origin, the flying snowflakes gradually calm down. A woman with ice skin and snow skin, white hair and eyebrows, and even silver pupils appears in front of Lin Luoran. The face of the snow girl is the same as that of Sakurako Asada. Lin Luoran still feels strange. That is the intuition that she has cultivated for hundreds of years. No, if this is Sakurako Asada, who suppressed her under the altar of the temple. Cyan Little Fox is not so stupid that it dealt with Sakurako Asada and then released her in person. Time flies so fast. I haven't seen you for more than 300 years. Miss Lin, you are still as beautiful as before. The snow girl holds her skirt and smiles. Her expression is gentle. Her tenderness is the characteristic of Japanese women. The sweat on Lin Luoran's body has evaporated. Her eyes wander from the ice pupas wrapping Cyan Little Fox and Baojia, and finally fall on the snow girl's face. Her eyebrows and eyes are vivid. Every frown and smile is the rebirth of Sakurako Asada. Even if some evil creature took the opportunity to read her memory just now, it will not be so detailed that it can transform Sakurako Asada into a detailed Sakurako. After all, Lin Luoran's memory of Sakurako Asada is too distant, and the other party is not her acquaintance. She has a vague memory of Sakurako Asada. Miss Lin, it is a good deal to exchange a sacred pearl for your 3 friends, including your own life. The snow girl comforts Lin Luoran unhurriedly and gently. Lin Luoran sneers. If she hands over the sacred pearl, how can she have any chance of winning? These thousands of ice pupas are the aborigines of the Green Mountains world. The personal ability of monsters is not very high. If they really work together, she can only escape. Now they are all frozen, which only shows that the snow girl's ability is above her. Then why does the snow girl want to kill her slowly? Lin Luoran suddenly understands what is wrong. The snow girl obviously has the ability to capture her, but she just asks her to hand over the sacred pearl in such a big circle. Sacred pearl, yes, she hasn't figured out all the functions of the mysterious sacred pearl for hundreds of years. There must be something that the enemy is afraid of. The snow girl gently persuades Lin Luoran, but Lin Luoran is indifferent. She turns hostile in an instant and points at the direction of Cyan Little Fox. The ice pupas wrapping it become thicker at a speed visible to the naked eye. Cyan Little Fox's ability to be protected by the collar is weakened, and it makes a slight moan. Since you don't know how to appreciate favors, Sakurako can only take revenge first. With the cracking sound of ice, Cyan Little Fox's limbs have been stiff, showing signs of exhaustion. Lin Luoran is very anxious. When she is about to take action, Liao, who is giggling, suddenly scolds. The exorcism figure hanging on his neck burns out spontaneously. Liao wakes up with sweat all over his head. Don't rush to do it, its situation is a bit weird. Liao crawls over in a hurry, gasping while talking. The snow girl is stunned when she hears the words. She stares at Liao for a while and suddenly smiles. It's interesting. I can't see through its origin. As soon as she finishes speaking, a black line spreads from the tip of her forehead, and it instantly invades her whole body like a spider web. Lin Luoran sees the pain on the snow girl's face. She seizes the opportunity and moves her fingers slightly. 2 white chains fly out and snatch the ice pupas wrapping Cyan Little Fox and Baojia. The snow girl screams to the sky, and snowflakes wrap her up again. Somehow, the white snowflakes are dyed black. An amazing coercion is spreading, and something is breaking out of the cocoon. Chapter 508. The path of cultivation had always been a struggle against the heavens, and the opposite of struggle was the word escape. For cultivators, going against the flow is normal. If they are infected with escape, no matter what the reason is, once there is fear in their hearts, their state of mind will stagnate. However, if they are disturbed by the devil inside when advancing, they will be seriously injured or even killed. The reason why Lin Luoran has the idea of escaping is that the unknown existence that is about to break out of the cocoon exudes amazing coercion. She has never seen such a thing in more than 300 years of cultivation. The snow girl, who looks like Sakurako Asada, is just a small shrimp soldier leading the charge. Liao is sweating profusely and collapses. Lin Luoran has the idea of escaping, but her feet are firmly stuck to the ground by this coercion and she can't move. The wind and snow gradually calm down. A strange phantom of about 20 feet high appears. 8 feet, 3 heads and 6 arms, and a bronze head and iron forehead are actually connected in the same torso. Lin Luoran feels a chill in her heart. Qi Yu, the legendary soldier lord of Huaxia. Even if he is defeated, the Yellow Emperor painted his image on the military flag. Many feudal lords see the Qi Yu who surrendered without fighting. Soldier lord, god of war. There are too many compliments attached to this existence. The most shocking one is that Qi Yu is known as one of the 3 ancestors of Huaxia. In other words, even if the Jiuli tribe is defeated, there must be the blood of the Jiuli tribe in the blood of Huaxia thousands of years later. Even if it is very thin, Lin Luoran can't straighten her back and say that Qi Yu has nothing to do with her. The fear in her heart and the disparity in strength make Lin Luoran watch Qi Yu transform out of the snowstorm, but she can't make any response. She is like a clumsy turtle pressed down by a sudden Mount Tai. She can only shrink in place with the force of thousands of pounds. Anxiety, confusion, and a strong sense of exhaustion hit her heart. Hand over the sacred pearl. Qi Yu speaks with a thick nasal voice and a low, muffled voice. The pronunciation has the charm of ancient Huaxia language. As soon as it speaks, hostility comes to Lin Luoran's face, forming a surging wind. Lin Luoran's body is shaky, but Liao is a little sober. He throws a pastel hill to hold the 2. The suffocating pressure disappears and Lin Luoran straightens her back again. The pastel hill is obviously a great treasure. Lin Luoran feels that Chiyo's eyes fall on it for a while and then move away. Unfortunately, Liao has no personal ability and it seems that he can barely hold it. Uncle Liao, please take them away first. Being a saint is the worst. Now she has no spare energy to save monsters and green mountains. If Liao can take Cyan Little Fox and Baojia away first, there will be no worries. There is a chance for them to escape. Liao is struggling. His smile is uglier than crying. In the current situation, how can Qi Yu let anyone go if he doesn't achieve his goal? You'd better hold on to that bead of yours. We can still hold on a little longer. The pastel hill can calm the wind and calm the mind. However, Liao's intuition tells Qi Yu that it is the so-called sacred pearl. Lin Luoran is worried. Sacred pearl, what other functions does the sacred pearl have? She doesn't know at all. The bitterness of life is that you think you are the protagonist with a halo and a plug-in. However, your life is full of troubles. It forces your mind to be twisted and you have to develop into a villain. You think that personal ability is the same as farming. However, one instance after another tells you that this is the same as leveling up is fine. But why do you have to fight bosses of higher ranks every time? It's okay to fight with higher ranks. Her teammate Liao is obviously a man with divine weapons but his personal ability is at level 0. He is not a shepherd, a man, nor a sword. And she has to shoulder the safety of 3 teammates. Can she concentrate on fighting the boss? The seemingly powerful Fire Phoenix and the mysterious Wood Wolf often look at the sky at a 45-degree angle. Hush, they can only watch. They can't even get out of the space. The only one who can help is the confused little silver fish. Anyway, it has proved the Godhead and its ocean of consciousness is seriously damaged. It can't use any magical holy spells. The more Lin Luoran analyzes the strength of both sides, the more powerless she feels. Am I really going to die? Is it really useful to put the fire crystal back on the altar? Lin Luoran looks at the various kinds of ice pupas hanging above her head with a complicated expression. In front of absolute strength, tricks and opportunism are really useless. Now she can only take a risk, right? Uncle Liao, you have to hold on. Qi Yu has a bad temper. He is 20 feet tall and looks like a towering hill. He is very dissatisfied with Lin Luoran's performance. His body is full of hostility. The ice pupas closest to him are the first to suffer. A bear monster, a horse-headed human-faced beast, a phoenix-tailed butterfly. Ice pupas fall from the top of the hall. They are twisted by the hostility and fall to the ground and break into ice dregs. Ice dregs are all over the ground. Even the heartless Liao feels cruel. These monsters he has provoked can never come back to life. Ice pupas fall to the ground and break one after another. Lin Luoran closes her eyes to calm down. If she can't feel any fire, she might as well go with the flow. She looks at the sky full of ice and snow. There is wind, rain, ice, frost, and snow. She has learned 8 golden word figures of wind, rain, thunder, lightning, ice, frost, snow, and fire from the Great Truths. In today's situation, there are at least 5 words. Why is she still afraid? Only actual combat can verify what she has learned. She writes the word figure with the strength of the gathering vitality period to deal with Chi Yu, who has no body and incomplete soul. It is hard to predict who will win. She also uses her spear to attack her shield. She can't write the word fire now. The contradiction doesn't match. There is no difference between attack and defense. The only thing that matters is whose spear is more powerful. Chi Yu is not the god who controls ice and snow. No matter what power he borrows, the mysterious golden word figure may not be weaker. Now she is only worried that the personal ability of the gathering vitality period is not enough to face the power of the ancient existence. Whatever, with the support of Liao, Lin Luoran retreats step by step. They are close to the gate of the stone hall, and Chi Yu is afraid. Lin Luoran takes 2 ice pupas and Liao out of the stone hall together. The temple of ice and snow is magnificent in the sun. Outside the temple, ice and snow are everywhere. Compared with the atmosphere inside the stone hall, the environment may be difficult, but it can make Lin Luoran calm down. The wind is whistling in her ears. Can she catch its raging pulse with her hands? Rain is the accumulation of clouds to a certain extent. When they fall to the ground, they become rain. In another sense, water will overflow when it is full. Ice is the solid existence of water at an extremely low temperature. It is water. Compared with mild water, it is a sharper weapon. Frost and snow are like 2 twin sisters, with only slight differences in appearance. 5 golden word figures rotate in her mind. Lin Luoran confirms every stroke and every stroke. The wind and snow are intertwined, frost falls, and heavy rain falls. A picture of wind and snow is depicted little by little. Compared with whether the strokes are accurate or not, the real momentum depends more on the artistic conception. Lin Luoran has undoubtedly touched this artistic conception. As the man in robe taught in the dream, you have to see the essence of the mountain. Powerful magic weapons with different effects, brilliant spells and arts of nature, elixirs that can increase personal ability, they all have their advantages and disadvantages on the path of personal ability enhancement. The time of personal ability enhancement is shortened with the help of external forces. However, the understanding of the Tao of nature and the law of the universe are getting worse and worse with each generation. The essence of personal ability enhancement, the essence of the world. Lin Luoran stands with her eyes closed. She seems to see cumulonimbus clouds accumulating in the sky. Their shapes change endlessly and they become thicker and thicker. A gust of wind shakes them. The rain falls. Because of the extremely low temperature, it turns into snow on the way and then slowly solidifies into ice. In the middle of the night, the steaming water quietly condenses into frost under the leaves beside the pond. The sun and the moon are eternal. Even if the stars fall and there is no Earth in the universe one day, these natural phenomena will still occur on similar planets. It will never change. Mortals, cultivators, beasts, monsters, demonic cultivators, devils, and the vast stars, which one of them was immortal. The shining pearl will be covered with dust. Only the wind will always wander on the planet and the universe. Only the rain can always nourish the green seedlings and water the dry soil under the feet. Only the ice, snow, and frost will quietly visit one morning in winter to show the change of the 4 seasons. They are eternal. They are the natural law of the universe. Lin Luoran seems to have experienced the cycle of 4 seasons, but in fact, only a short moment has passed. When she opens her eyes again with confidence, Chiyu looks at her coldly in front of the stone palace. The magnificent palace can't take away Chiyu's intimidating coercion. The sun shines on the snow and the light is dazzling. The ice lake dries up. The entire Green Mountains, regardless of inside or outside, is already a world of ice and snow. Then, let's have a duel of ice and snow. Lin Luoran raises her wrist and uses her fingers as a pen. When she writes the first stroke, she clearly sees the shock in the eyes of Chiyu. That kind of eyes is a little familiar. It seems that the superior god is shocked by her, an ant, and finally he is willing to look at her. The character is complete. From the distant sky, the wind that appears out of nowhere surrounds Lin Luoran. Liao looks at her with more than shock, but also confusion. He always feels that he has seen a similar scene somewhere. However, his memory is shrouded in a thick fog, making Liao unable to see the truth. Thinking about it carefully, his head feels as if it is pricked by thousands of needles at the same time. Lin Luoran ignores the eyes of Chiyu, and has no time to care about Liao's emotions. She has been completely immersed in a wonderful state. The wind comes, the rain falls, the snow falls, the ice condenses, and the frost arrives. 5 golden character figures form under her pen and then disappear into the nothingness. In the wind and snow, the Green Mountains are shocked. Lin Luoran can't believe that she has written 5 characters in a row. She walks slowly on the ice field in the snow. At this moment, she is the god who controls ice and snow. Melt. Her fingers draw a beautiful curve. She controls the law of ice and snow and gives a decree. A simple word, melt, can't be resisted by ice and snow. The ice field under her feet melts first, including the ice on Baojia and Cyan Little Fox. It melts into snow water at a speed visible to the naked eye. The thick layer of snow melts. The land under her feet is originally blue. The colorful flowers that are rejuvenated are the wishing flowers that represent hope in the Green Mountains. In the boundless ice and snow, this touch of green brings a little hope. Chapter 509. Lin Luoran is fascinated by cultivation, probably because of these wonderful changes in front of her. When the structure of a substance is slightly changed, the reaction is extremely wonderful. For example, carbon atoms can produce ordinary graphite or brilliant diamond because of their different arrangements. From water to snow to ice, the same substance is presented in different wonderful ways. It confirms the natural science she learned in her youth, which makes her miss it. Lin Luoran's simple word, melt, has obviously shocked Liao and his enemies. The ice under their feet melts, and the snow water quickly seeps into the soil, nourishing the originally frozen grass. Verdant green appears in the pure white. Even the ice on Cyan Little Fox and Baojia has melted. Cyan Little Fox is lying on the grass panting. It has been trapped for a long time, but it seems to be in a good state. Unfortunately, Baojia is still unconscious. No one knows what Baojia is going through at the moment. Lin Luoran is just a little worried about her frowning in a coma. The ice and snow continue to melt with Lin Luoran as the center. A large area of green is revealed, and it even spreads to the feet of Chiyu. It seems that the Green Mountains will be completely unsealed. Unfortunately, the man in robe is not here to write the golden word figures. Lin Luoran doesn't dare to waste her personal ability of the gathering vitality period. Unsealing the Green Mountains is obviously an unwise choice. Her main purpose is to unseal Cyan Little Fox and Baojia, as well as all kinds of ice pupas hanging upside down in the stone hall behind Chiyu. The direction of melting snow is obviously the direction where Chiyu is. It wakes up from some kind of memory. With a muffled groan, the melting is stopped 3 feet in front of it. It even takes a big step forward, forcing Lin Luoran to retreat. Both of them are flying in the sky with ice and snow. The difference is that Chiyu is surrounded by a mass of black, while Lin Luoran is surrounded by a mass of white. They are clearly enemies and allies. Hey, stupid fox, are you okay? Liao is distracted and kicks Cyan Little Fox, who can't get up for a long time. The fox grits its teeth and responds, "Animal trap. You actually used the animal trap to trap the 9-tailed royal family. You." Obviously, Cyan Little Fox is angry. Liao is a little embarrassed. "I made a mistake in a hurry. Please forgive me." Cyan Little Fox is so angry that it laughs instead. It knows that what Liao said is true. It happened suddenly at that time. If the animal trap had not been in a stalemate with the ice and snow, it would not have been able to stay awake for so long. It is also because of the animal trap that it is trapped in the ice without any ability to resist. This was the Green Mountains, the main territory of the 9-tailed fox clan. No matter what kind of outsider it was, they shouldn't have left it in such a sorry state. Cyan Little Fox jumps on of Liao's shoulder along his trousers and whispers in his ear. "It is Liao of him." Liao nods hard and agrees. As the former leader of the Jiuli tribe, it is too weird to imprison the 9-tailed fox tribe without any explanation, even if it has been corrupted. It seems that it hasn't lost its mind. How can it beat its own people as soon as they meet? He didn't kill Lord Fox because he wanted to lure you out. This problem has troubled Cyan Little Fox for a few days. In its opinion, the remnant soul of the Neon Woman from 300 years ago is not the main reason at all. The behavior of Chiyu in front of it is weird everywhere. If it wants to be resurrected, it can just obediently guard the mountain condensed by the Green Mountains under its feet. Anyway, it has waited for so many years, and the passage of time is not surprising for Chiyu. Why can't it wait to seal the mountain with ice and snow? If it wants to resurrect, it can just make a fortune quietly. Surrounded by ice and snow, Lin Luoran looks particularly majestic. The Cyan Little Fox still can't figure out what Chiyu is up to. At this time, Lin Luoran takes the lead in flying, followed by a mass of black. The wind and snow in the air are getting fiercer. The black and white are about to fight for the victory. Vitality gradually returns to the Cyan Little Fox, and its frozen mind also comes back to life. The Cyan Little Fox's tail suddenly freezes when it sees that Lin is struggling to resist Chiyu's fierce attacks. Did Chiyu keep them alive just to lure the stupid Lin Luoran here? It's strange. They don't hate each other. The Cyan Little Fox says to itself and pulls Liao's hair. "Hey, where is the crystal? Isn't the crystal that fell from the altar in Linny's hands?" Seeing that Chiyu is entangled by Lin Luoran, Liao also understands that this is their chance to reverse the disadvantage. Putting away the pastel hill, Liao finds that it is not frozen immediately. He puts the pastel hill in the arms of the unconscious Baojia and runs to the stone hall with the Cyan Little Fox. The Cyan Little Fox jumps off Liao's shoulder and jumps all the way to the altar in the stone hall. Without Chiyu's obstruction, their actions are extraordinarily smooth. Looking at the defenseless altar in front of them, a man and a fox look at each other. If they have the crystal in their hands, won't they be able to choke Chiyu at once? Liao points to various kinds of ice pupas hanging above his head. Linny gave the crystal and several substitutes to these monsters. She originally wanted to fish in troubled waters, but unfortunately, they were too disappointing. All of them were killed in one round. Liao carefully identifies for a while and points out a few monsters. The Cyan Little Fox's tail is flexible. As the cyan light surges, it carefully rolls a few ice pupas to the ground. Can you thaw them? Liao stares at the Cyan Little Fox who asks this question. If he had a little personal ability, he would be able to defeat Qi Yu with a set of holy weapons. The cyan little fox sighs. Thinking that Liao actually trapped it with a monster trap, its face is full of frustration. Looking at the few frozen demonic beasts on the ground, it decided to save them since they were its subjects. The fox family is good at illusions and also dabbles in other arts of nature. Nine-tailed celestial fox, a natural spiritual species, doesn't need to be taught by a master. With the awakening of the racial inheritance, the corresponding knowledge of arts of nature will naturally awaken at each stage of personal ability. The growth of spirit beasts is very slow. When Cyan Little Fox first met Lin Luoran, it was wandering outside the Green Mountains. Although it was many years old, it was just a young fox with a solid tail. It couldn't protect itself at all. After many years of personal ability enhancement in the Green Mountains, it grew a second tail. It was the awakening of the inheritance of the nine-tailed celestial fox and learned illusion spells and some secret methods. It is not difficult to melt ice. Cyan Little Fox's long tail turns into needles and it wraps around the ice pupas flexibly. It actually uses external force to peel off the ice layer little by little. The frozen monsters are not even hurt. It can be seen that Cyan Little Fox has a delicate control of strength. Liao is amazed by this fox-shaped ice shaver. This damn fox usually doesn't show off, but it is actually a little useful. The ice outside has been shaved, and the vitality of these monsters is frozen. It will take some effort to wake them up. Cyan Little Fox opens its mouth and spits out a shiny bead the size of an ordinary bead. Liao is drooling. This is the inner bolus of a nine-tailed fox. It belongs to one of the few monster boluses that can directly enhance personal ability for cultivators. A few wisps of green mist float from the inner bolus into the monster's noses. Cyan Little Fox casually separates a wisp of green mist and floats outside the hall. Even the monsters are saved, so it is not stingy to give a wisp of essence of bolus to Qin Baojia outside the hall. The inner bolus of the nine-tailed fox is very ordinary. When the essence of bolus enters the body, it makes the blood and qi in the frozen monsters restless. In fact, the blood of human animals is the hottest. With vitality in the body, it is easy to break the shackles of ice. A wisp of essence of bolus in Cyan Little Fox's inner bolus plays a guiding role. Both Cyan Little Fox and Liao are very anxious. The situation is grim. Lin Luoran has been showing signs of exhaustion for a long time. It seems that she will not be able to entangle Qiyu soon. Cyan Little Fox grits its teeth and adds more essence of bolus. The cyan hair on its body has dimmed a lot. Finally, the monsters lying on the ground move. Cyan Little Fox breathes a sigh of relief and absorbs the inner bolus back into its body. Where is the crystal? Which of you did she give the crystal to? Several monsters who have just woken up are still confused. Liao pushes and scratches them forcibly to wake them up. Monsters have been cultivating for many years, so they naturally know some basic refining techniques. The Green Mountains has no shortage of magical materials and earthly treasures. Most of them have storage spaces. When they wake up, they also understand the seriousness of the situation. When they touch the crystal again, their storage bags are empty. Liao and Cyan Little Fox have never seen such a situation before. They are stunned for a moment. Baojia outside the hall also wakes up. She struggles in and holds the stone pillar. She frowns and her headache has not subsided yet. Some intermittent pictures flash in her mind, corroborating with what Lin Luoran once told her. More importantly, Lin Luoran doesn't know about the magnificent underground world under the rolling desert, the steel stained with blood, and the white light that suddenly enters her mind. The ocean of consciousness is crushed by brute force. A wisp of consciousness seed falls on the edge of the ocean of consciousness in the process of being crushed. It is ignored by the invading brute force. The nature of human beings to seek benefits and avoid harm makes it lurk quietly. It secretly peeps at the invading brute force and waits for an opportunity. Two groups of consciousness share the same ocean of consciousness. It knows something about the invader. It knows that she is the saintess and wants to leave the earth. If this situation continues, this wisp of consciousness seed can gradually grow over time. It is not as good as the invader, but it is hopeful to complete the consciousness of Qin Baojia. However, the saintess tries to kill Lin Luoran. The seed of consciousness is shocked and struggles to resist. Its body responds to save its friend's life, but it falls into a deep sleep. The purpose of the yin-yang dust circle and the soul wood under the Qingqing Taoist temple is to nourish this wisp of consciousness seed and let it take root in the ocean of consciousness to find the former Qin Baojia. It is a pity that the earth has changed and the yin-yang dust circle is weak. Qin Baojia wakes up in advance. After experiencing interstellar wandering, she actually forms a new consciousness personality. The new consciousness personality suppresses the seed of consciousness. The memory belonging to Qin Baojia seems to be annihilated in the long river of time until she enters the Green Mountains as Nolan, until, when Baojia is still sorting out some shocking memories, the lark on the other side has woken up. Liao never thought that Lin Luoran would be so bold to give the lark a real crystal. The bird is also smart. It gives up the convenient storage space and hides the crystal in its belly. It spits out the crystal at this time. The surface of the crystal is still warm. Cyan Little Fox and Liao are both overjoyed. The altar is also intact. After putting the crystal back, the situation will be much better. However, Cyan Little Fox is very scared of the altar. It encourages Liao to put the crystal there. Seeing that the crystal is about to return to its place, Baojia suddenly opens her narrow eyes. Wait! The picture in her mind is still very complicated, but Baojia reluctantly stops Liao. Is the familiar breath the reason for the Julie blood mentioned by the lark? What about the breath that makes her afraid? When Liao is stunned, a mass of black snow has swept over and seized the crystal. Chapter 510. Lin Luoran won't yell, guard the altar, for no reason. Liao, who is the closest to the altar, is robbed of his crystal. He thinks quickly, but he has no time to defend himself. A strong force has hit his ribs hard. Liao is knocked into the air and hits a hard stone pillar. He spits out blood and curls up on the ground. No one knows whether he is dead or alive. Liao has no personal ability at all. Facing Chiyo's blow, he is probably dead. Cyan Little Fox is stunned for a moment, and its eyes turn red for no reason. The little fox feels that it hates Liao very much. When they first met, he threatened to roast it and eat it, which made it lose face in front of Golden Hawk. However, when it was in danger, Liao actually escaped by himself and used the animal collar to trap it. When life and death really come, Cyan Little Fox has the most intuitive reaction after several years of interstellar travel. As a noble nine-tailed royal, it almost cries. It looks at Liao who is lying on the ground sadly. With red eyes, it makes a gesture with its two front paws. The gesture is extremely beautiful. After a flash of cyan light, the altar where Cyan Little Fox is, including itself, disappears in front of everyone. The illusion of the nine-tailed fox. Lin Luoran sees Cyan Little Fox's ability for the first time, but she doesn't look happy. Cultivator's keen six senses let her sense that Liao's breath is getting weaker. At that moment, Cyan Little Fox must want to save Liao. However, because of Lin Luoran's guard the altar, it launches the illusion of the fox family with red eyes. There is no better way to protect the altar than this. The altar is in that direction. However, the illusion of the fox family is powerful. If you don't step into the area, it will be empty. Once you step into the area of the illusion, what you can see and whether you can wake up or not depends on the Cyan Little Fox's manipulation ability. Chiyu has a dark face. Seeing the altar disappearing, it seems to be burning with anger. Baojia has a splitting headache. The familiar breath of blood connection is even fainter. Instead, it is the fearless thing in her memory that makes her afraid. Lin Luoran steps forward to hold her. Baojia's body is trembling. The fear deep in her soul must make her feel like dying. Someone who can make a person so scared can't be her ancestor. It can only be Baojia's biggest enemy in her life. Baojia's biggest enemy in her life is naturally her enemy. Lin Luoran's eyes flash. She should have thought of it. During the battle, even though she was writing the golden runes, the other party was still able to do it with ease. So why didn't he kill everyone in one fell swoop? Qi Yu seemed to be deliberately giving them a chance to carry out their ridiculous plan under the absolute power. If the crystal was placed there, it would seal Qi Yu. Would it still be so careless? Cyan Little Fox is caught, but Liao, who has no personal ability, escapes. He even sends a letter to her for help with a paper crane. This was a trap. Qi Yu had been waiting for her to walk into it from the beginning. Lin Luoran originally couldn't figure out how the sealed ancient god of war knew the importance of the sacred bead. However, when Qi Yu deliberately held back in the fight, the slight leakage of breath alerted her. Compared with Baojia's fear, she was more disgusted by the smell. If it is the existence that Baojia fears the most in her life, it is undoubtedly the existence that Lin Luoran hates the most. Apart from the Alpha Alliance, there is only one existence that she hates the most. The truth is clear. Liao is about to put the crystal back, but Qi Yu doesn't come back to help. Instead, he entangles Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran's mind is roaring with thunder. She can't put it back. Sure enough, she is still one step late. Seeing Cyan Little Fox disappearing with the altar, Qi Yu feels very sorry. What a pity. It is really a pity. It is one step late for Lin Luoran who discovers the truth. However, for Qi Yu, who has been planning for a long time, he is only one step late. Long time no see, Saintess. Lin Luoran lowers her eyes. When she says the word Saintess, her tone is full of sarcasm. Qi Yu raises his head with a cold look. He is just like the Saintess of Jiuli tribe that she and Baojia are familiar with. It seems that in the eyes of the two female cultivators standing in front of him, no matter how much their personal ability has improved, no matter how many years have passed, they are still like ants. Don't you admit defeat? Admit defeat? If the word admit defeat exists in Lin Luoran's dictionary, she would have probably died in the blood pool in the underground palace of Jinling. Countless evil spirits corrode her flesh and blood, and then her bones are reborn. The constant pain makes Lin Luoran, who used to be cowardly in the face of betrayal and fate, completely die. Even if fate plays tricks on people and makes her fall into the hands of the fake Saintess again, why does she always ask her to admit defeat? 300 years have passed, but the fake Saintess is still arrogant. No matter she is a mortal or a cultivator, does the so-called Earth Aborigine really have to be so humble? She will never admit defeat. Never. The black wind and snow dissipate. The face of Qi Yu, with 8 feet, 3 heads and 6 arms, and a bronze head and iron forehead is blurred. The fake Saintess doesn't bother to pretend anymore and shows her real body. Maybe this is the appearance of the fake Saintess's first host body after coming to the earth. She has upturned red phoenix eyes, a straight nose, plump red lips, and flawless facial features. Her red dress is like fire, proud and dazzling. She is the most dazzling flame in the world. She is not the most beautiful woman Lin Luoran has ever seen, but she is the first woman that people will notice even if it is a galaxy beauty contest. She is so dazzling that people can't move their eyes away. Baojia, who used to be arrogant, is a little like her. No wonder the fake Saintess wants to possess her body. Her first host body must be Hanba, the daughter of the Yellow Emperor. Lin Luoran is looking at the fake Saintess, and the latter is also looking at her. In just 300 years, the Earth has entered the Doomsday Era. This little female cultivator can still advance to the level of gathering vitality. Is it because she is so lucky? Or is she the chosen inheritor? The latter is very likely. In addition to the bead, the little female cultivator can also write golden word figures. The fake saintess covers her mouth and sneers. She will know the truth soon anyway. Her eyes fall on the bead on Lin Luoran's wrist. She has seen the bead before. When she was trapped in the desert by the god Whipping Whip again, she recalled the long-ago picture from her memory. Unfortunately, she was in a hurry to leave the earth at that time, so she didn't connect this bead with that bead. She gave up a chance for nothing. However, a mere few hundred years was nothing to an existence like her. The most important thing now is to completely occupy the power that belongs to Qiyu. The fake saintess looks at the crystal in her palm. As long as she puts the crystal back on the altar, the last thought of Qiyu will disappear in an instant. The simple and honest young man who once smiled at her in the distant prehistoric era will really disappear from the world forever. Thinking of this result, the fake saintess, who has always regarded all creatures on the earth as aborigines, has a trace of inexplicable emotion in her heart. She thinks that she must have stayed on the earth for too long, so she has been infected with the ridiculous reluctance virus of earthlings. Her eyes are full of charm. Seeing the two vigilant little female cultivators, she suddenly feels a little funny. 300 years ago, it was these two people. 300 years later, they are standing side by side in front of her again. The so-called destiny is really teasing people. The fake saintess breathes at them. Seeing Lin Luoran clenching her fists stubbornly, she feels it is very interesting. She can't help but disagree with that person's taste from the bottom of her heart. You are just a nine-tailed fox with two tails. How dare you play illusion in front of me? The fake saintess laughs in a low voice. If it is an adult celestial fox, even if it has just evolved 6 tails, it will be a bit troublesome for her in her current state. As for this little fox, its personal ability is too poor and its temper is too bad. It didn't know what was good for it 300 years ago, and now it has not improved at all. Lin Luoran doesn't need to care about the old relationship. Time seems to slow down, and the continuous movements become frames of slow pictures. Lin Luoran watches the fake saintess stretch out her slender fingers and point at the direction of the altar. A black line flashes out like lightning and pierces a barrier. No matter how you change your position or how many barriers there are, in front of absolute power, if there is a leaf in front of you, you can raise your hand to pick the leaf and find the mount tie behind the leaf. Such a domineering scene is absolutely worth celebrating if it happens to Lin Luoran herself. However, at this moment, it is the fake saintess who raises her hand to destroy the illusion of Cyan Little Fox. Lin Luoran is holding Baojia, but she is overwhelmed by the coercion of the fake saintess. Not only can she not go forward to help, but she is also shaking. The altar is revealed. The Cyan Little Fox is hit directly by the black line. It spits out a mouthful of blood and falls straight down. The fake saintess doesn't hide her disdain. She kicks away the injured Cyan Little Fox and plays with the crystal in her hand. She turns back and shows Lin Luoran an indecipherable smile. Lin Luoran feels a fire rising from the bottom of her feet, rolling along her limbs and all the way to the top of her head. Her eyes are red and she is in a daze. Is it anger? Lin Luoran feels that her limbs and all the bones are boiling. Led by this force, she has broken through the deterrence of the fake saintess and rushed out. Lin Luoran's speed is unprecedentedly fast. With a slight sound, she has already stood in front of the fake saintess. The fake saintess stands on the left side of the altar. She is infuriated by Lin Luoran's suicidal action. Lin Luoran stands on the right side of the altar. Before she is burned to death by the anger, she feels the heat on her fingertips. Just as the fake saintess shook her finger at the Cyan Little Fox, Lin Luoran raises her hand and aims at the fake saintess. A real flame bursts out and hits the fake saintess precisely. The fake saintess screams in shock and anger. Her body is actually pierced by an inconspicuous little flame. In the unspeakable pain, the fake saintess's strong will supports her to complete the last action. With a clang, the crystal falls firmly into the round hole on the altar. It fits perfectly. A shadow floats out of the fake saintess's body. Judging from the outline, it is a handsome and tall young man. The way he looks at the fake saintess is full of sadness and persistence. However, it only lasts for a short moment. Then it turns into tiny particles and completely dissipates between heaven and earth. The fake saintess doesn't even spare a glance to the virtual shadow. She is frightened and angry. It's you. It's you, right? It's really you. Chapter 5:11. The crystal returns to its place. Although Chiyo's soul is gone, the spreading trend of ice and snow really stops. Lin Luoran sets fire far beyond her own strength, which makes the fake saintess crazy. She keeps shouting, "It's you." However, the result of exceeding her level is that Fire Phoenix's body becomes translucent for a moment in the space, except for her own eyes that are distracted. What is more serious is that Fire Phoenix's body becomes translucent in an instant. Lin Luoran faints and loses control of her body. Her spiritual mind escapes into the space. Seeing the Fire Phoenix injuring the fake saintess at all costs, Lin Luoran sighs and blames it. "In fact, you don't have to do this. It's my fault." She puts herself and the sacred pearl in danger many times because she doesn't think about the three monsters. The little silver fish is attached to the dragon corpse and hovers over the space. Most of the attacks from the Fire Phoenix through the space barrier are ineffective. Otherwise, they may not be really afraid of the fake saintess. After all, the saintess has just succeeded in shaping her body and she uses ice and snow as a carrier. The Fire Phoenix is her natural nemesis. It is the first time that Lin Luoran's spiritual mind is forcibly absorbed by the space. She is worried that her physical body left outside the space will be destroyed. In that case, she can only choose to start all over again after hundreds of years of hard work. It's you, isn't it? Why don't you come out?" The fake saintess seems to have lost her mind. She destroys her image and looks around in the stone hall. No one knows what she wants to find to prove the you, she says. A few awakened demonic beasts had already quietly moved to the corner to avoid her sharp edge, shivering in the corner. They hate that the Green Mountains world has been separated. It is difficult to enter the Green Mountains and even more difficult to get out of the Green Mountains. Unless the nine-tailed fox family leads them, these monsters can't break the barrier between worlds. The lark hides its head under its arm. In fact, its brain is working fast. 3 people and 1 fox in Lin Luoran's group have fainted and there is only the weakest female cultivator left. It seems that they can't change the situation. The only thing they can do now is to steal the injured cyan little fox out. They can also follow it to break the barrier and leave the Green Mountains. The lark minimizes its sense of existence and glances at the injured little fox. It is worried that it will not cooperate with its perfect plan. The fake saintess goes crazy for a while. She doesn't find the person she wants to find. She is disappointed and angry. She rushes to Lin Luoran who is unconscious on the ground. "Since that's the case, you should appear after I kill your successor, right?" She no longer wants the bead's approval, nor does she want to test it again. She really wants to kill it. Baojia, who had been fighting with fear and herself, suddenly looked up and made a sharp sword move without thinking. The snow sword is a grade 5 magic weapon. A full blow from a bearing essence cultivator can flatten a mountain. However, the fake saintess doesn't even look back. She catches the flying sword with her backhand. 2 slender fingers exerted a little force, and the blue light of the snow sword dimmed. She threw the flying sword away, and there were 2 clear finger marks on the sword. The flying sword is closely related to the cultivator. Baojia is a sword cultivator. Her flying sword is badly damaged. She groans and blood spills from the corner of her mouth. Unexpectedly, Snow Sword is caught and thrown away. Baojia arrives later. She holds back her anger and grabs Lin Luoran into her arms. She takes the opportunity to bite the tip of her tongue and use the blood as a medium to escape in an instant. Blood escape. It is several times faster than the escape of the 5 elements. It is not difficult for cultivators to learn the blood escape. The difficulty is that it is not easy to replenish the blood and vitality consumed by the cultivator after using the blood escape. Only the blood escape can catch the fake saintess off guard and grab Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran sees everything clearly in the space. She is very anxious, but she can't return her spiritual mind to her body. In a snow mist, Baojia takes her away. The fake saintess snorts and chases after them. The lark and several monsters in the stone hall look at each other. They can't believe that they actually survived. The lark shakes its neck and boldly goes forward to check the cyan little fox's breath. It is a little surprised and signals to take the cyan little fox to escape together. Of course, they can't go outside, but they can still walk in the tunnel of the lark. The ice pupae hanging upside down on its head begins to melt. Most of its kind, which has been with them for hundreds of years, are still alive. The lark is very relieved. It doesn't want to take the risk of staying in the stone hall. God knows when the powerful woman will come back. Several monsters find the entrance of the tunnel and are about to leave. However, they see Liao, who is still alive. The lark asks the bear monster to carry him on its back and they go down the tunnel together. The lark doesn't know that the tunnel has been frozen. It is full of confidence in its plan. On the other side, Baojia has already taken Lin Luoran across the mirror-like ice lake. Their figures are covered in the wind and snow. The fake saintess chases them out, but she can't find any trace. She finds many cold ice crows to ask. Under the effect of the secretary, they all become her eyes. They can clearly see where the ice and snow go. She doesn't worry that the 2 female cultivators will escape. However, the crystal is put back after all. The ice and snow in the sky will gradually melt. If it takes a long time, it will be bad for her. The fake saintess reconstructs the body of Hanba in the past. She was born to control fire. If she doesn't suppress it with the power of ice, the process of reshaping her body will burn her unprotected consciousness to death. It doesn't affect her image if the ice and snow dissipate. However, she feels a little full after swallowing and receiving Chi Yu's huge spirit power. After dealing with the 2 little female cultivators, the first thing she needs to do is closed-door meditation. Time waits for no man. She determines a direction and disappears in the blink of an eye. She should have escaped hundreds of miles away, right? Baojia realizes that her spirit is not good enough. It is really an extremely extravagant behavior to use essence blood as a medium. What should I do? Lin Luoran tries many times, but her spiritual mind still can't go out. She is very anxious. Don't worry. Let me go out. The silver fish takes back its worried eyes from the direction of the cabin. Fire Phoenix is seriously injured this time. It is really afraid that it can't make it. Although it is worried, it still takes the initiative to go out because it and Lin Luoran are in the same boat. Attached to the dragon bones, it can go out of the space and has some skills of the dragon race. However, such a powerful secret method consumes its soul. If it can escape this time, its situation will be no better than that of Fire Phoenix. Lin Luoran looks at the burnt tail of the silver fish and nods with tears. She is only a shadow now. White Fairy pats her on the shoulder and gives her silent encouragement. Wood Wolf also wants to say something. It wants to say something several times, but it is the weakest and can't help at all. It is very depressed. I will go out with the silver fish. If we cooperate, we may be able to escape. After all, White Fairy once fought with the Black Shadow Venerable, a primitive monster. Since she can make the Black Shadow Venerable fall into her illusion at that time, she has some confidence to deal with Hanba. Lin Luoran shakes her head hard. She is strong-minded and her spiritual mind is powerful. I don't know how much stronger she is than the monster bat. You have no chance of winning. You may even be controlled by her. Don't go. It is confirmed that the fake saintess came to the earth at the end of the primitive era and possessed the body of Hanba. Her personal ability may be far lower than the primitive monster bat, but her spiritual mind is so powerful that the monster bat may not be able to catch up with her. White Fairy knows the situation, so she doesn't insist. The little silver fish has broken free from the space under Lin Luoran's gaze. What greets it is the freezing weather and Baojia's surprised eyes. The silver dragon suddenly appears and grows in the wind. Baojia is lucky that she doesn't cut it with her sword. Although it is huge, the silver dragon's eyes are very gentle, which makes Baojia feel at ease for no reason. Get on my back and I will take you away. The silver dragon lowers its head. After Baojia carries Lin Luoran up, it flies away in another direction. Although its speed is slower than the blood escape, it is stable and doesn't need essence blood. Not long after the silver dragon left with the two of them, a figure in red appeared on the snowy ground. The fake saintess appears in the same place and grabs a handful of wind and snow. She changed the direction of the wind. After chasing in the direction where the silver dragon flies for a while, the remaining breath in the air becomes thinner and the fake saintess stops chasing it. She stands in the same place and her spiritual mind extends around like a spider web. Her speed is much faster than her own. She leaves a spiritual mind imprint when she notices the abnormality. She quickly confirms the direction and chases after the silver dragon unhurriedly. The silver dragon is not tireless. However, the fake saintess is chasing it so closely that it doesn't dare to relax. After running for a long time, the ice and snow on the way have shown signs of melting. It tells Baojia about the situation that Lin Luoran's spiritual mind is now trapped so that she doesn't worry too much. Baojia holds Lin Luoran in one hand and firmly grasps the horn of the silver dragon with the other. Along the way, the Green Mountains world is not peaceful. The ice and snow begin to melt and it seems that animals and plants are unfreezing. However, such a serious snow disaster may lead to a flood. It is really not optimistic. The silver dragon finds a big river that begins to melt and it is a little happy. The king of the water nationality is more powerful in the water than on the land. Without the evil ice and snow, the dragon can also use some arts of nature with the help of the water. The silver dragon plunges into the water with Baojia and Lin Luoran. It lurks in the depths of the river and slowly goes down with the current. A layer of soft power wraps around the two. Baojia feels that the silver dragon is relaxed and she can't help but relax. Under the sparkling water, the fish that have just thawed look a little dull. Baojia feels tired and sleepy for a moment. She tries to wake up but still falls asleep unconsciously. The gentle water film wraps Baojia and Lin Luoran. The silver dragon puts them at the bottom of the river and hides their breath. Instead, it goes upstream against the current. The sudden breath of the dragon nationality surprises the fake saintess. She remembers the dragon tail she saw the day before and thinks that it is the same dragon. Although she doesn't know why the dragon nationality follows Lin Luoran to the Green Mountains world, the fake saintess has met it and knows that the silver dragon is just for show. It looks powerful but she is not afraid. She catches up with it at a faster speed. She intercepts the silver dragon in the upper reaches of the river with a trap that she sees through at a glance. There is a surging undercurrent under the calm river. If she goes into the water, it will turn into a lot of killing intent in an instant. The fake saintess wants to laugh. In terms of the use of spirit power, the creatures on the earth are far worse than her. Even the illusion circle is useless to her, let alone these disguises. What is ridiculous is that this is actually a fake dragon. She can clearly perceive the real soul that does not fit well with the body. When it comes to occupying people's bodies, she has rich experience that others can't compare with. The fake saintess laughs contemptuously. She ignores the killing intent in the water and directly attacks with spirit power. She wants to force out the soul that does not fit well with the dragon body, then, of course, she swallows it. The spirit power breaks through the water and doesn't cause any waves. However, it firmly locks the dragon body. The little silver fish struggles again and again. At this moment, the fake saintess swallows Chiyo's power in addition to her own spirit power. The little silver fish is trapped in the dragon body and can't fully use its power. In this way, the little silver fish is forced out of the dragon body. Without the protection of the dragon body, it will be destroyed in a few seconds like Chiyu. The little silver fish is reluctant, but it is instantly taken back by the sacred pearl with an irresistible force. The dragon body loses its support and turns back into a white skeleton. It falls into the surging river and is instantly submerged by the waves. It turns out that you are hiding there. The fake saintess follows the direction where the breath of the little silver fish disappears. As expected, she finds the two people hiding under the water. Now, where can you escape to? The two people are pulled up from the water. A frosty flame emerges from the fake saintess's palm and instantly wraps the two people up. When the soft water layer is evaporated, the two people will be burned alive. No, Lin Luoran can clearly see everything happening outside in the space. As a gathering vitality cultivator, she already has primordial spirit. It is not impossible for her to survive if her body is destroyed. However, Baojia in the bearing essence period has not gathered vitality. She can't possess her body, let alone transform her primordial spirit like White Fairy. Baojia will die. Don't die. Lin Luoran's eyes are full of tears. She can't do anything about what is happening outside the space. She remembers that year in the hospital, Baojia was also like this in front of her. As a cultivator, she couldn't stop her friend from losing vitality. After hundreds of years, she has advanced to gathering vitality. Does she still have to watch Baojia die in front of her? Let me out. I want to go out. Lin Luoran looks around with tears in her eyes. The thick fog at the edge of the space gently bounces her back. She knows that the space is saving her by taking her primordial spirit in. However, now she only feels that the space has become a prison for her. It will separate her from her best friend forever. Let me out. I don't want the sacred pearl anymore, the water layer is getting thinner and thinner. Helplessness and despair make the primordial spirit of the early gathering vitality extremely weak. Without the consciousness of survival, Lin Luoran is about to be blown away by the breeze at any time. After more than 300 years of personal ability enhancement, she has experienced several changes. Her family is missing. Even her best friend, whom she has worked so hard to find, is going to be lost again. Cultivators have the ability 100 times stronger than mortals. They can't get rid of the mortal world, which corresponds to emotional ups and downs that are 100 times more intense than mortals. For cultivators who pursue the Tao of nature, this kind of intense emotional ups and downs is the most fatal. In a trance, she hears a heavy sigh, which makes her find a channel to vent her grievances. She bursts into tears regardless of it. The primordial spirit has no tears. Her hoarse tears come from her heart. On the second floor of the cabin, the pages of The Great Truths on the table are rustled by the wind. Someone sighs in the book. You're tuning into the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.